You hear me now? All right, so we're ready. So tonight is the first episode of many, and it is called Situationships, okay? Situationships. And we're not talking about like just you done got yourself in a bind. All that may come up because most of the time when people think of situationship, they're like, oh, you cheating or you got mixed up in some stuff. But we're going to be talking about everything that has to do with relationships. And this week, we're going to start off with five, hopefully. Tina, where you at? We're four right now of my amazing friends, and we're just going to be having a really raw and real and candid conversation about relationships. So I want to bring them in one by one, and we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to let you know what our relationship status is so that you know from what perspective we're coming from. And we're just going to, I'll explain the layout later. Let's bring everybody in. Okay, first we got Megan Marie. What's up, Megan Marie?
Hello, beautiful. Hello.
We got my friend Brittany Todd. What's going on, Brittany?
Hi.
We got Dr. Sue. What's going on, Dr. Sue? And then we got my family, my real family, my blood. Dion Success Jenkins. What's going on, Dion?
Hello.
All right. So we're about to get it started. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna let everybody. Ooh, I get the echo again. Did you let it up? Did you let it up? She didn't she? She let it. You got to let that like that.
I didn't do it.
Something going on over there. I bring on the string and she cutting up already. All right, so I'm going to just go around and let everybody introduce themselves. We're going to start with Megan, Brittany, Dion, and then Dr. Sue. So, Megan, just tell everybody your name, your relationship status, and anything else you want to tell about yourself.
All right, so I'm Megan Marie. I am in a committed relationship, and I am a transformation life coach.
Oh. There you go. She made it, y'all. She made it. All right, so we just introduced ourselves. So we're giving our name, our relationship status, and if you want to give any other fun facts about yourself. All right, so we just had Megan Marie. Next up, we got Brittany Todd.
Oh, we lost her, I think.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we lost her.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Brittany Todd. I am also in a committed relationship. I currently work in like retail, customer service, that sort of thing.
Awesome sauce. All right, go ahead, cousin.
Dion, you up?
All right. I was looking at the message on the side. My bad. Hello, great day, everybody. I'm Dion, aka Success Jenkins, and I am happily single. And I'm a CEO of my travel company, Travel with Success, and that's what I do. I love traveling.
Nice.
By the way, I like that shirt you got on.
Oh yeah.
Team Irene.
Oh.
That's my grandmother's name. That's where I get my name from. So yeah, good stuff. All right, Dr. Sue, your turn.
Hey y'all, I'm Dr. Sue Carter Collins. The people who love me and you call me Dr. Sue. I am the Mind Mastery Architect. I work with people to help them overcome limiting mindsets so that they can achieve their greatness. relationship status. I laughed when Carrie Irene said that because I I I just had like a in my mind a chronicle of relations. Twice divorced, two relationships that ended. One was happy, the other was not. I'm in love with someone who I made a decision not to be with. So that's where I am right now. In love, but
It's gonna be good
it's
tonight.
not toxic, nothing wrong, but it ain't right.
I think we should add though. I think that was a great thing, Dr. Sue. Everyone married, divorced. Where are you on that?
We chose the topic. I didn't even go by my own script. Y'all want to go around and oh wait, let me tell mine, and then we'll do that. We'll go around and tell what type of relationships you've been in, what your relationship history is. I think that's a really good place to come from too, because people approach you and you just say one thing like I'm single as if you've always been. But yeah, so I am single as well. I'm successfully single, but I am also divorced. And I'm also or I don't even it's not a divorce, but when you were engaged and you called off the engagement and ran. I'm also that. I'm also that. So
We
it's
call
gonna
that
be
almost married.
it was close. It was close. But I'm free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. I am free at last. All right. So Megan, since you brought that up, you want to go ahead and start, or are you still what you doing?
Sorry, I just had a dog hit my computer stuff, so it just knocked all my stuff over. So now I'm like, crap, I got to get it all re-angled. Hey, you can't make this crap up. It's real life. It's how we roll. Yeah. So divorced, married, 10 years, horrible marriage,
Yeah.
on and off
And how long
relationships.
have you and how long have you since been from there to being in a relationship?
I am in my first relationship 6 years. Like first, like
Nice.
real, like relationship. Like I've
This
had like
relationship is 6
dating,
years. Yeah.
dating, but
Yeah.
not any like committed relationships. And now I'm in a committed.
Yeah. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. So Brittany, what about you? You said you're in a committed relationship right now.
I am.
How long have you been in it?
It's actually pretty new. We are only about a month in.
Yeah. New
Yeah.
love. New
Yeah.
love. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me make sure this is shit. I ain't even shared nothing yet. What about you, Dion?
I just got out of a 5.5 year relationship. I've been single for 2 years now, so that's where I am.
Nice. Nice. And Dr. Sue, she told hers.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
She prompted it.
This has arrived. What's going on? What? Oh, I
Go
think
away.
she froze.
Go away.
She froze. You there?
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is. Can you hear us, Tina?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so just say your name, introduce yourself, tell your relationship status, and then what your previous relationship history is like. Like I'm divorced, but I've been single for over a year now. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, and give them the tea, friend. Give them the tea.
The T on T. Yeah, Tina Whoop. I am, how old am I? I'm 52 years old, currently single. Hey, y'all. I finally got somebody to get off of the app after being single for 2.5 years. So, yay.
You what? You I mean you got who got?
I finally got me a date. Like,
You got a date?
yeah, yeah. So we'll
Have you been
see
on the
now.
date or you going on the date?
Well, what had happened? We met off the app, and then that's a story for another day. But we're gonna have the official date. I'll leave it like that. So,
Okay,
so
okay, okay, okay. I got you. I got you, Gail. I got you. All right, so that's good. That's good.
so
All right, so we about to get
yeah, but
into it. So
previous,
while
I'm divorced.
you are divorced, got you.
Yeah.
All right, all right. We'll see. I know. I'll be like, I'm gonna let people tell as much as they want, but I'll be knowing. All right, so this is the way that the show is gonna go. Oh, wait a minute. What's all this? Oh, it's Tina. I didn't even see your little message over here, Tina. My bad. I was like, what's all these private checks over here? She was in there. She was in the rough struggling. My bad. All right, so let me tell you guys how the show, the flow of everything is going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to see a wheel that spins, and each one of us have since chosen a topic. So choose the topic, whatever it lands on. The person who chose that topic will say that was me, and then they're going to tell why they chose that topic, right? They're going to explain why they chose the topic, and then they're going to tell their viewpoint on the topic. Once they do, and right after I spin that one, I'm also going to spin the wheel for a name, and whoever name it lands on is the person who's going to share that conversation with the person's topic. So it's going to be really good. We're going to get several different perspectives from singles, from people in relationships, from people in situationships, all the things in between, because just because this is our relationship status right now doesn't mean we haven't gathered information from being in other relationship statuses to come to the conclusion that we've come to. So that part is going to be really good, because that is what makes relationships so unique. Because just because you're leaving people behind doesn't mean that it sometimes haven't created this habitual nature about you when it comes to interacting with other people who are potential people you're going to be in relationships with. So that is what we are talking about today. I'm going to play our intro one more time just so I can share this on Facebook, and we're going to be right back. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. If I can find where it is, present. Share screen. Ooh, the echo. I can tell the echo. All right, spin the wheel. Which one I want first? Let me see something. There we go. Look, I'm going to work smarter, not harder. Okay, y'all can see that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now can you see both screens now?
No, just this wheel.
See one with the names.
You only see one? Okay, hang on a second. Because I know I can probably join.
Now I can see.
On the side?
Yeah, it'll be on the side. Let me see. Present. Stop screen share. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Window. There we go. Now you. Ooh.
No.
Whoa.
That ain't it. Yeah. I feel like I'm in the Matrix. Oh, we just gonna do one screen at a time, because that definitely was not it.
I think we just went through a wormhole or something.
Oh, definitely.
For real. My eyes I feel like my eyes came out like a telescope. Like, all right. Let me get it together over here.
You're
All
hypnotizing
right, let me
us.
just go one screen at a time. So, all right, you can see that screen, right?
Yeah, we see both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can see both of these two. You can see
Well,
two
now we
wheels?
can just see. Now we can just see with the wheel with the name on it. But the other one that had the squares next to it, we could see it a second ago.
Oh yeah. This one, I want you to see the one with the. There should be two wheels, but that's cool. I know how to get it. So I gotta do the other one first. I'm about to just spin it without y'all seeing it. I'm just gonna read it to you because baby, this ain't it. This ain't it. I'm about to spin the wheel. Okay, so the different topics, I'm just going to go ahead and say the topics. One of them is friendship or relationship first. Like, which one should you focus on first? Patterns of a failed romance. Like, what signs should you be looking for? Nothing wrong, but it ain't right. You know, that feeling where, you feel like you got to stay because you ain't got a good reason to leave, but you know good and well you probably need to leave. All right, and then there is sexual expectations in relationships. And then there is living in fear. And then, oh yeah, that was the one I never did type mine in. I'll just tell you and I'll spend it later. So my topic is taking responsibility when you know you should have left a long time ago. So that is mine. I don't know how to shorten that up, but we're gonna go ahead and spin this wheel. The first one we land on is see, I'm giving y'all sound effects and everything. Patterns of a failed romance.
Oh, yes.
Patterns of a failed romance. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So who was that?
that was me. I put that
All
one in.
right. All right. So we're gonna do patterns of a failed romance.
Yes.
Make sure I ain't doing it. Okay. So now let me spin the wheel and see who you're gonna be doing it with. Spin. It actually makes that noise too. Tina.
Tina's not with us
Tina
anymore.
gone.
Oh, there she go. Wait a minute. There she is.
Pattern,
You there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Tina's had patterns of failed camera over here.
You can tell us, so it's your connection because I can tell it's kind of pixelated. You must be in the country.
Of course, I'm in the country. I live in the country.
I'd rather be in the country any day, anytime, anyway.
Can y'all
I'm
hear
a country girl. Yeah, I hear you good. I hear you good. All right, so the way that the format is, I don't know if you read the thing. So we picked it, we spun the wheel, and we picked the topic, and the topic is patterns of a failed romance. That was Brittany's topic. So she's gonna start out by saying yes. So she's gonna start out by saying why she chose that topic, and then what she feels about her viewpoint on the topic, and then you will be the one that'll be up to rebuttal or agree and tell what you think about what she said. Cool. All right. So Brittany, patterns of a failed romance. What made you think of that topic?
Okay, so in my journey of healing and growing and learning from my past, I realized that while the relationships failed, maybe not at my fault, but I chose these partners, and there became a pattern I could see in me trying to fix people, like, so I'm like, I can't fix people. That's not my job. We fix ourselves, right? So I learned that maybe it's me, and maybe I'm not, picking partners that I can see, them helping me grow. That it's only me helping them grow. And that's not, healthy on my part. So I had to kind of take some ownership, and those patterns, so that's kind of where I was.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all can agree with that. Oh, lost 10 again. I'm just gonna go ahead and step in.
My partner here that I picked keeps leaving.
Right. And she keep leaving.
That's that failed relationship, Brittany.
Communication is key.
Understanding, just not hanging up.
Yeah.
Just hang it up. Just hang it up. All right. So, anybody have anything that came up while she was talking about that?
Yeah, I'll jump in with it.
Go ahead.
I definitely like the topic. It's something when you're looking at all of your relationships and the things that you've been through, when you're reflecting back on the past, you want to check on all of the things that you learned from it. And, sometimes they are patterns. Sometimes it's one of or two of, But I know for me, I've always been the rock, and like you, I've always tried to fix the person. I'm always there for them. But when it was the reciprocal thing, I never found or really picked the right person to reciprocate those things back to me. So I've learned now that as I'm looking forward to getting back into that arena, to avoid those habits that I had, or the reasons why I chose these people, the things that I saw in them, and not looking. Another thing that caught me by surprise with me looking back in my life is always looked at their potential or what they could have been.
Right.
And that's what got me stuck into it. Like, oh, this is the potential is great, and then I get into it. And it's like, well, I had to build up to that potential. It's not where they are, and that's where I've learned. I got to learn to see where they are right now and see if that's something I can work with, and then we can build from there.
Yeah, you know, it's while you were saying that, it's funny because the last thing you said is we can build from there. I'm like, because this is not Build a Bear. Baby, this ain't Build a Bear. You can't put the heart in and put their head in and put a little necklace around it and call it your own. These are people, grown ass people with their grown ass lives, with their grown ass past, baggage, parents, bullying when they was a kid. That they said, I mean, you know what I mean? And we think that we can be the pure helper of America, open our loved ones, you know, in especially romantic relationships, in a way to where we can be enough for them, because then we lose all sight of us. And then when we depleted ourselves into them, we looking at them like they supposed to help us when they listen. Just because a baby has learned how to walk doesn't mean that they're steady. Okay. Have you ever seen a new baby walking? And this is what your new relationship look like when you finally got them on their feet and they still doing this, and now you want them to help you. That's why both of you end up falling down, because they ain't even got their legs up under them good. Now you want them to put back into you to build you up from what you build them, and it's just an impossible feat. It's impossible. So, Tina, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I went through the military base and they just looked like goodbye. So I kind of missed some of it, but um, and this may be completely off on topic, but when we're talking about the patterns of failed relationships, that we were talking about. Hello?
I can hear you.
No?
You still there?
Oh, okay. Okay, because we're talking about patterns of a failed relationship, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for me, and like I said, I kind of missed it, but when that came out, what came to me was when I was going through my particular healing journey on that, when I reached that part about the patterns, I had to take a look at the patterns of myself and everything. I actually created a timeline, and the timeline was every because I had 4 marriages and 3 long-term relationships. So I put down every single one of them, um, and I wrote that all of them were pretty much long-term, minimum of 2 years or more, up to 7, 8 years, all of them. But the thing, I had to start looking at the common denominator between the men that I was selecting, and when in that pattern, the pattern I was choosing were men that did not have good relationships with their mothers. And I expected them to have good relationships with me. That really kind of didn't work. And then I came in on the tail end. I think, Carrie, that was you when you were talking about wanting to fix them, and then once you get them up to par, you expect them to do the same. That was another thing that I was also doing as well. Um, so when we're talking about patterns, for me, that was the first thing that I thought about, is I had to start looking at myself and then the choices that I was making. Don't know if that's on point or not, but
Oh yeah, that's all the way on point.
Yep. All
Because
of
that's exactly what Brittany was saying about her patterns. Did you want to say something,
oh,
Brittany?
Oh no, I'm just saying that's exactly on. That's. I think we were all kind of in the same way. We're all in our journey of trying to figure out, what is it in me that's choosing these people? Because it's not that they're bad people, like we said, it's not that they're not all. I mean, I've dated some people that I wonder, but I mean, it's some of it is they're just not maybe to that point yet. Maybe they're not on the same, they're not as healed. Maybe they are not emotionally available to even give you that what you're looking for. And I think I was choosing people that were, like you said, I saw like potential, and I saw if I could just help them and be there for them, maybe like other people weren't, maybe they would reach their potential. And that's a lot to put on yourself and the other person, because if they're not there, they're not there. They don't want to be healed, they're not going to be. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
know
I
for
love that.
me.
Love it, love it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just loving it.
I'm gonna say one thing that I also learned about myself, and this one hurt. This one hurt. I'm talking about more, Mike Tyson punch to the face and the gut simultaneously, and in my little bitty heart. Um, it the reason why I was always choosing people to fix is so that I don't have to fix myself.
that. People
That
that will
hurt.
also, if people are not, if you feel like you're at a better spot, right? You feel like they're the problem. You're not you can't be the
There's
problem.
a problem. It couldn't possibly be me. It couldn't
Yeah.
possibly be me. Now, once I get him good and fixed, then we'll be okay.
Right. Well,
So,
yeah.
when I realized that, how's that song go? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. That song right there. Yeah, that was a reflection of that. Like, completely, in complete totality, like 100%. And it's hard to do that. And I don't want to go sidebar, but I will say, um, control. What I learned was a lot of people would say, Tina, you're controlling, but I wasn't thinking I was controlling. I was thinking I was trying to fix people and heal, and they just didn't know how to listen, and it was my job to teach them that.
Mhm.
They didn't know how to listen.
Know how to listen.
They don't. And
They
then
don't.
when I went back to my timeline, what the number one thing was? Every man that I was ever with, the number one thing that they said I did not do was listen. So I'm accusing them of not listening, and it was me. Oh,
Yeah. Ooh-wee. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. It's something out here in this world, this relationship world. And
yeah,
it's
yes.
like one of the best places though to really
Mhm.
self-reflect. Because when things start not going, soft, and especially when you're fresh out of a relationship,
Mhm.
it's like now it's time to look
Mhm.
at me. It's
Yeah.
time. You can be more honest when you're on the outside because you don't have to admit it because it's already done. You know what I mean? So you can like really
Mhm.
be that really honest with yourself and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's not going to change the outcome because you know it should have ended for whatever reason, but you can still be more honest with yourself and look back and say, yeah, yeah, that was me. A lot of that was me. All right,
Yeah.
all right, all right. Anyone else want to give me 2 cents before I spin the wheel again for the next topic? What's up, Dr. Sue? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
When I think of potential, and that was something that was mentioned, potential really, and I've been here, to fall in love with someone because of their potential really is unfair to them as well as to you.
Mhm.
What you're saying to the person who you're falling in love with potential is that you're not enough. You're not good enough right now. I got to
Mhm.
fix you.
Yeah.
And so what you have to do, and what I had to do, is look at, and I fell in love with potential, and I did 20 years with potential and 8 years with potential. So, and then I did another
Oh, I got
10 years with potential. So I can talk to you about potential. And ultimately the question was, what is it within you that you think this person can give you? Because we're getting something out of it. We're
Mhm.
getting more than just falling in love with potential. We're getting more than creating build a bear, as you say. What
Mhm.
is it that we are doing to build our own self up? That was a hard lesson for me to learn, that when you say I'm falling in love with potential, you really are dishonoring the person that
Mhm.
you are in connection with, in relationship with, because what you're saying really is you're not good enough. I need to fix you.
Yeah, you sure do. And who want? Oof. We are enough. You know, like how we say that in so many ways. In this way too, we are enough. we are the job that we were sent here for. You know what I mean? We're enough. I'm gonna
The
spread
interesting
that
thing
cheese.
is, the interesting thing is, we always think we're enough. It's that other person that we need to fix. That other
Sure,
person needs some
I
work.
mean, yeah, and in relation to fixing something, fixing, which
Yeah.
healing, but we're
Yeah.
enough. Like we're enough.
Right.
I mean, it's a lifetime process.
Mm.
Lifetime. You know, we're enough. All right, who's Netflix next? Oh, shout out the name Tina at me from before. I forgot if that was still up there. All right, so let's spin the wheel again. So the next topic is. Oh, what y'all think it is? What y'all think it is? Somebody guess.
I know it's me,
Somebody,
Carrie Irene.
look, I tell you what, if I spin this wheel and it's me, we gonna have a time. That's it. All right. Spin the wheel. Oh wait, did I hit done? Oh, I want to spin again. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. Took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where'd Dion go? What? Why you waiting on that, Dion?
I don't know.
There he is. All right, there we go. Spinning the wheel. Dion. What? Oh. All right, this is gonna be good. All right. So again, for anyone who's joined and anyone who's wondering, what are they doing? The name of this is Situationship. So I'll be doing this the first Sunday of every month. And the way that it goes is everybody who's on the panel has chosen a topic. We got the topic in one wheel that we're spinning, and we have our names in another wheel that we're spinning. We spin the wheel, then it lands on the topic, and the person who chooses the topic starts the conversation, and the person's name it lands on continues the conversation. Okay, so Dr. Sue's topic is nothing is wrong, but it ain't right. What do you do? Nothing is wrong, but it ain't right. What do you do? Okay, so if you're not speaking, mute yourself. Dr. Sue, take it away.
Nothing is wrong, but it just ain't right, y'all. I know y'all been there. I'm just saying. It's like this person looks like they got the total package, and they're kind and they are compassionate and they love you and you love them. But as my mama as the woman told my mama about my brother, he just don't make my toes tingle no more. My toes don't curl. So when you talk about, well, it's just not right. I think so many people. So why did I choose the topic? Because so many people spend a lifetime in relationships that they settle for. You know, initially in the relationship, you're in love, and there is an actual chemical release. There's a chemical thing that is going on inside your head, inside your body. That's that honeymoon phase, y'all. I talk about that because I just went through that, right? And I'm don't laugh, Carrie Irene. I am so in love with this man. I am so in love with this man, but it ain't right. It's not right because I have my standards. I have now a younger me would have played the long game. But at this point, it's like, nah, I'm real clear about who I am. I'm real clear about where I am. I'm real clear about what I want. But so often we will take, if we have 10 things that we think are important, we'll settle for 5 because what were we just talking about? I see the potential. So it's not that the relationship is wrong. It's not that the person is wrong necessarily, because we're getting something from the relationship. Many times, you know, I think about women and men, but I think about women especially who say, well, at least I got a man. Oh my God. Ooh, that is, at least I got a man. What are you saying? What are you saying? It's like, I got something. It's not what I want. It's not bad, but it's not what I want. And at this point in my life, I think, hey, I want what I want. And as my friend said, I said what I said, and that's what I said. And what I want is what I want, period. So who goes next? Who's responding to me?
Oh, Dion.
I want what I want, Dion.
You said.
Yes. You said a lot there. I think about like looking at my past relationships and things that I've looked at and tried to heal from, and try to understand where my point was. A lot of times with that situation, like you said, it may not be the person, and the relationship could be great, but I think at the beginning we didn't connect on those levels of saying, like you said, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, and all that stuff. It's kind of like, you're cute, you're attractive, I like you, we have things in common, this feels good, in the honeymoon stage, those chemicals are overriding your logic a lot of times. So as you're getting to it, the long run, after you get out of the honeymoon phase, it's like, okay, where are we at now? What did we just do? Where are we going? And that wasn't made clear from the beginning. So again, it goes back to your topic, it's not wrong, but it's not right. What do we do wrong? What can we go from here to build it to where we're going to go?
And I think so often we initially we have these conversations, right? We have the conversations, but they're not deep. They're superficial. Like, where are you from? Who you know? What do you like? What you like movies? All that's well and good, but who are you really? And what are your core values? What are your core non-negotiables? And that's deep. I think that's a deep conversation that most people don't have with someone, with their person, with their significant other, with their spouse. They don't have that conversation. But if you don't have that conversation, if you don't have those conversations, and they're conversations that take place over time, right? If you don't have those conversations, then you really are setting yourself up for failure. It could be there's nothing wrong. You can make it more right. You can make it more right. I think that so often we don't know what our values are. We don't know ourselves well enough to know what we want from our partner. And we may have a list of traits or characteristics. I want him to have a job. I want her to look good. They're all superficial. And when the honeymoon stage wears off and you start dealing with this person on a regular basis, and you get to see things that you don't like about them, there's nothing about that person that changed. You just didn't see it. And now they're showing up and they're being themselves. And now you want to have a problem with who they are. Why? That's what you bought into. And you probably showed them a false person as well. So back it up. There's nothing wrong, but it just ain't right.
You said back it up. Back it up. Go ahead, Megan.
Well, I love this question, actually. And it kind of honestly leads into what my topic actually was. I mean, to be truthful, but I think it goes into the assumptions. And I think, especially at our ages, okay, like I'm 43 years old. I know what I want. I know what I'm not putting up with. Why can't we have these conversations instead of having these assumptions just because, like, say I'm dating another 43-year-old, that they're in the same place as me? What is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? I'm not looking for short-term dating. Like, why aren't we having these conversations? Like, straight up, like, if you're out there dating, why are you dating? So if you want to get married and that you're dating a person who doesn't want to get, why?
Right.
Why are you even doing that? Yeah, it may feel right. It might feel great, but right from the beginning, they already told you. So again, it kind of leads on to everything of what we're talking about here, the potential of leading forward and everything. We need to start seeing people for what they show us, but we need to start having these type of deeper conversations and stuff instead of, exactly right, like Dr. Sue just said, ooh, do you like that band? Oh, did you see that movie? I mean, go to your Facebook feed for that.
So I always tell stories. I tell stories about myself. I put my business out there because, hey, I don't give a shit. I'm old enough to do that. I think about my person, and what he said is, I just want to be happy. Well, that's code, y'all. That is code. I just want to be happy means I want to do what the fuck works for me. I ain't really concerned about nobody else, right? And if you go for the okey doke, you go for, oh, I want to be happy too. You are agreeing with him, but here's the thing, or with her. Here's the thing: you have no idea what I just want to be happy means. What does that mean, right? What it means
1,000%.
what it means in my case is, can I cuss? Y'all know I cuss. I'm just sorry. I'm just saying. What it means is I want to fuck you and her too. It's like, I want to do it all. I will. I love to listen. Here's another code. I love both of you. I love two women, right? I love you both. Yeah, right. And so you look around. I tell you, I love this man. And my old self, the old me, oh, she struggled with it. She kept trying to tell the new me, you can do it. You can put up with it. It'll be okay. I tell you, I woke up during the night struggling, and I woke up saying, no, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is a honeymoon phase. It fucked with me. But I'm telling you, I had to get away in order to get away from that energy, because I said to myself in my rational moment, have you lost your mind? What are you even thinking? That does not work. It ain't gonna never work. That's falling in love with potential, but not the potential of the person. That's falling in love. You're playing the long game. That's falling in love with the potential that a relationship might work out.
Mhm.
No, baby, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And that's not to say that you should never do that. It is to say, be very mindful of what else is going on. What is this person telling you? Learn how to decode the language, because honestly, we get upset with the person because we say, oh, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. And I was pretending, he was pretending. No, he showed you what he showed you who he was. He told you who he was. And what did you say? It's just a little thing. It's okay. There's nothing wrong. It's not quite right, but it'll be okay. You sold yourself. How did they say? You sold yourself a thing of goods. He didn't sell it to you. He sold himself straight up. This is who I am. What he said to me is, I just want to be happy. There's this other person, and I want to make love to you too. It's like, yeah. And I have to tell you, y'all, it was really hard because on a scale of 10, he was a 25. this this is real conversation. You said it was going to be real and raw, so real conversation in situationship. And that was like, afterwards my thought was, damn, you played that wrong. But on the other hand, it's like, I did what I wanted to do, but I realized afterwards that this is not going to work for you. This just is not going to work for you. So I say that only to say that when you, number one, I have no regrets about anything that I've done. And number two, from a place of no regret, you still have the opportunity to make a decision of what is best for you, not what's best for anyone else. You may be in a relationship where it appears that there's nothing wrong, but if you're feeling that it ain't right, then there's something wrong. You just need to look closer. And oftentimes what you'll see is that what you're getting is not what you want, but it's nobody else's fault. It's yours because you're not clear on what you want, or you, for whatever reason, you fail to articulate it. And you're going along with the program. That person is getting what they want, and you're all upset and mad. It's like, why? Why? You in essence saying, give it to me, bring it on. And they're bringing it on and doing what they want to do. Enough.
Oh, that's good stuff right there. Oh, by the way, because the way StreamYard is doing things now, I'm not able to pull up comments on the side, but we got some people with it, and just so you know, Ebony said, "Please, cuss."
Thank you, Ebony.
Moni, we got Shauna, we got. I hope I'm saying your name right, Shauna. In the comments, and they going off and they loving this conversation. Emily said, I love the I just want to be happy. I'll never look at that the same. It's so true. We don't know what that may mean for someone else, and it's the truth. And Sean said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moni said, not a 25, a whole 25.
Like, damn, I hate to walk away from this.
When Dr. Sue called me about this, I was blushing. Do you? Blushing.
That was a hard decision to walk away from it.
It is.
Hard
I know it
decision.
is. And that's so, and it's important to talk about it and not settle on it, because sometimes that is what you want. Sometimes that's not what you want. But sometimes you're in different points in life, because sometimes you just want to be single. Because I mean, like, look at me. Me and Dion know that we are ready for a relationship, but we also know that in the
Yeah.
beginning, we're very honest. We're very honest.
Yeah.
The way the conversation that Dr. Sue had with the partner that she was with at the time or recently, that's the conversation that needs to be had, because then that puts you both in the control seat.
Mhm.
You know, he has control over the way he wants to go. She has control over the way she wants to go. And that's respect. And that's how you can leave that relationship being hurt and not angry.
Mhm.
Because when you couple angry with hurt, it's such a deeper gash to fix. You know, this right here, she can put a band-aid on and leave it on a couple of days. By the time it fall off in the shower, she all right. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes when we want to make a wound worse, it's because we stay in that pain that we know we're
Yeah.
going to
No.
have. And that cut gets deeper and deeper. And then we wonder why we're bleeding all over the place. And you can complain because we're hurt when we knew what we were getting into. I'm gonna be real honest right now, real straight up. My last relationship, the first thing that I told the person in my last relationship, whenever I found out she wanted to pursue me, is I do not want to be in a relationship at all. And I really had to take responsibility for the evolvement of it all, because I knew I didn't. I knew I didn't, and I knew I wasn't ready. But I had to be brutally honest with myself. And the one thing she asked me, do you regret anything? And I said, yes, that I did not listen to myself, because I put us both through a whole lot for what? Because I just wanted to see. For me, I disrespected myself. I disrespected her because I just wanted to see, when the only thing I was doing, making that wound deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. You know, and then I blame it, of course, we have these, everything makes sense, right? Well, it's because she saw it as a challenge, and, maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. You ain't got nothing to do with that. You a grown ass
Right.
woman. You make your own decisions. You made your own bed. Now you sleep in it. You got to deal with that, because you went down a path that you told yourself that you didn't want to go on, but you listened to someone else and went anyway. So there you go. It wasn't
Let
wrong,
me let me just say
but
one
it
more
wasn't right.
thing.
Yeah, I want to add to what
One more
Gary
thing.
just said.
Go ahead, Dion.
No, that was Megan, I think.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
like Carrie said, at some point we said yes. We went against our own boundary and our own judgment, and we chose to say yes. And at some point, we have to turn around and say no.
Mhm.
And realize that we can do that. We have the power to 100% to do that, to control ourselves. It doesn't matter how long, if you were in the relationship for 20 years, 8 years. What was the original yes that you said yes to for disrespect? And you can go around at any point, in any time, in any stage of life. And guess what? Flip that thing around. Turn that shit around. Turn that boat around. Turn that sail. Get that thing going and go, you know?
So
And
what are you gonna say, Dusty?
I agree with Megan. I agree. Turn it around. You can. Um, I would encourage you to, whatever you do, look at it from a position of no regret. No regret. You didn't have any regret when you made the decision to do whatever you made the decision to do. And so there's always something of value in every experience. The question is whether you can see it or whether you get caught up in the anger and the hurt and the whatever it is you may be feeling about it. I stay in prayer about my relationship, and God told me that this is an honorable man. Now, the fact that he's an honorable man does not mean that he doesn't want what's best for him, because we still do, right? He still does. I think of the relationship and the fact that I was sexually intimate with him. For me, it was a gift. Not that he was giving me a gift in that way, that he was having sex with me, but there was something. I had not been with a person or been in a relationship for over 12, 14 years, right? And if we are truthful about how we be, at least I'll speak for me, I began to question whether I could ever be in love again. I began to question whether I would ever allow anybody to touch me in that way again. What this man has done is teach me that, or show me, I should say, that, yeah, number one, you still got it, girl. I'm just saying. Uh, but
Oh,
number two,
feel it.
that no, number two, he awakened me in a way that had been dormant, feelings that I had not had, thoughts that I had not had. I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for that because I tell you, regardless of whether we ever have anything to do with each other again, and as from it, as long as he has somebody else in his energy field, that's not even a possibility. But I look at him and I look at what happened as being a it really catapulted me to a whole new level in terms of my self-awareness, what is important to me, and whether I, because I had said I'd never wanted to have a relationship, and then I mess around and fall in love. Like, where the hell does this come from? This was not something that I even wanted. That wasn't in my, it wasn't in my conscious mind, but apparently it was in my subconscious mind. But it also was an opportunity for me, and this really is, it's important. It was an opportunity for me to really assess, do you speak certain values only, or do you live those values? The things that you say are your core non-negotiables, are they in fact your core non-negotiables, or do you coach other people about it, you talk about it, but you don't live it? I am trying to live everything that I profess to anyone else. And so it was, the old me is going, oh girl, it's so good, but the new me is going, not good enough. And what I said to him is, I love you, but I love me more.
That part.
Hey, I say, I say. That's good
Um,
stuff. All right. I'll have,
can I say
you want to
something
say, go
real
ahead,
quick?
Tina. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was
Because
just,
just so you know, your topic is next.
oh man. Okay.
Already
So,
spun the wheel. And guess who your partner is in with your topic? Megan.
who?
Go ahead.
um, before I do my topic, I wanted to just say these quick things because this is what was coming up. One, we are so used to. Oh, can you hear me? Did I? Oh yeah. Okay. We're so used to being taught. At least I was. Let me speak for me. So used to being taught that when you get in a relationship with someone or you get in a marriage with someone, you're supposed to sacrifice. And part of what you're supposed to sacrifice is your happiness. You know, Al Green, one of my favorite songs, "Love and Happiness." What you, I mean, but it sounds more like a fight though. It doesn't sound like love and happiness. It's like love and happiness. It's like you have to make that decision. And we were always taught to sacrifice. And this is something that really irritates the inner linings of my asshole is when people are like, well, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I get so sick of hearing that because why is it that this, I'm gonna just rant and I'm gonna leave this here, but why is it that things and places and situations can be perfect, but a person can't? Why do we always have to be flawed? And it's funny because I don't even know if y'all gonna be able to see it, but I got a whole tattoo about it when I was in a different era. It says perfectly flawed, love me anyway. And I got that tattoo to prove to somebody else that I wasn't perfect, only to study during my journey to find out that the word perfect actually means as good as possible. So now it's like, well, that was dumb because now my tattoo looks like it's saying as good as possible being flawed, love me anyway. But people that relate to you can't be perfect can relate to this tattoo that I have. So I feel like there are days where I am absolutely being as good as possible. And I'm perfect on those days, and I'm going to say I'm perfect. And a lot of people were like, you can't say you perfect. Yes, I can. If my car can be perfect for me, If my best friend can be my best friend, perfect best friend for me, if I can eat a sandwich and it can be perfect for me, why can't I be perfect, right? Anyway, I digress. Back to the sacrificing, right? This is why we sacrifice, because we're not supposed to be perfect ever. So we are willing to sacrifice love to get the happiness. That um I'm gonna just leave that right there. That's what I had to say on that. And I don't forgot the other two because I started getting passionate about the word perfect. Bam. Okay.
I love it all. I love it all. And,
That
and
end
goes back to your
ooh.
words. It's the definitions that we create. It's just, the same thing. It's those definitions that we create for ourselves when we associate perfect with triggers that we have around the word perfect. Basically, it's triggers that we have around the word perfect. So, are you frozen? You better not be frozen. Do like this. No.
Well, I'm no longer interested in a perfect partner. I'm just interested in one that's perfect for me.
Exactly right.
Oh, that's so cliche, Dr. Sue.
That's the truth.
It is.
That's
It
the
is the
truth.
truth. And I say that because I'm real clear on what my values are. I'm real clear on the standards. I'm real clear on where I am willing to negotiate and where I'm not. But I think that somebody else has this topic, so I'll just hold that statement. As a yeah.
Can't hear you,
Can't
Carrie.
hear you.
My bad. We're gonna start the next topic, and I'm gonna run downstairs right quick. That's what it said. So maybe I'll start. Oh, she on a different thing. Hang on. There she
Okay.
is.
That's that country internet. That's that country
Okay,
internet.
I'm gonna take this and that. There we go. There we go. There we go. You still on there though? Your face like that. Anyway. So the next topic is Tina's topic. I already spun the wheel, and Tina's topic was living in fear. And the person that I
Right.
spun that is going to be accompanying her on this topic is Megan Marie. I'm like, this is perfect. I really think that this is gonna flow really well. So, all right. So, start off by telling us. Oh, wait. Start off by telling us. I'm gonna go. I believe she's gonna be all right. Start off by telling us why you chose the topic, and then tell us
Mm-hmm.
thoughts around the topic. The floor is yours.
So I chose um, for romantic relationships living in fear, and the reason why I chose that is because that was something that I was doing in every single relationship I had, except for this last one. This last one I didn't do that, but in every single relationship. And what I mean by living in fear is fear of losing that person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, now it's coming back to me what Dr. Sue said now about uh, with living with fear of losing someone is every time I thought I wouldn't fall in love. Every time I thought I wouldn't fall in love, I did. Hence the 4 marriages and the 3 long-term relationships. You know, um, and so we live in the fear that I lived in the fear that I was going to lose my husband. I was going to lose this to him by his standards. And then maybe if I sacrifice enough of myself, that he will in turn sacrifice himself. And so it was just an endless cycle of anytime I would say, I'm going to leave you, then he would act right. And then when he would say, I'm going to leave you, then I would act right. We're afraid to leave each other because we're not sure if there's somebody else out there. I had I'm trying to remember her name. I could see it. Coach Olanio, who asked me a question before I got into my last relationship, and she said, how can you go into a new relationship fearful that it's going to fail and you haven't even started it yet?
Mm.
And this is why the topic, living in fear. So she made me do a little homework, and that little homework, baby, it messed it up for some people because, baby, I don't know how I did it in that little magic book she gave me, but I lost that fear of losing something at it as it's not that I'm losing someone, and it's not that I'm losing to someone because I have been cheated on and I've had men select other women over me and then go into full blown relationships with them, right? Um, but I realized it wasn't about that. It was more or less going back to some of our earlier conversations where we were talking about, patterns and all of this stuff. I'm living in fear of I don't want to be by myself. Going back, I think Dr. Seuss said that, well, a piece of man is better than no man, is what I used to hear in my community. And that's what I was doing. And I don't want a piece of man no more. I want the man, you know. So that's why I've been single for 2.5 years, because I've also started listening to my intuition. And that was the other thing that I was gonna say that was pertinent. And then, if y'all want to say something, you can jump in. So I had a friend who briefly, and I mean briefly, dated this woman. They were mainly supposed to have sex, but then, it turned into all of a sudden she wanted more. And then so one day, now he's a non-smoker and she's a smoker, but he was like, I guess, I can kind of deal with it, because she got everything else going. Again, sacrificing that love and happiness. And then one day he just said, they were having sex and he had his head, how to put the head in the crook right there, and he gets to smell her hair, and it just smelled. He said it smelled like sour. I said like sour milk. He said yeah, and I said, well, I mean, she got to wash her hair, but I said, but if she gonna smoke every day, that is gonna get trapped in the hair. And so he went and told her, hey, I'm sorry. I agreed to do this dating thing with you, and it's something that I should have never done. I'm not a smoker, nor do I want to be with a smoker. And, so I want to release you in love. And baby, that did not go over well. It did not go over well. And she said, and this was the thing that just blew my mind in reference to living in fear when it comes to these romantic relationships. She yelled, and I ain't gonna yell it, but this is what she yelled at him. You didn't even give me a chance to fix it. And he said, I don't want to fix you. I want you to be exactly who you are. I don't want to change you. And she said, if you cared about me and if you love me, you would tell me that I need to stop smoking so that I could be with you. That blew my mind. And I said, friend, this is the question you need to ask her. Or this is the question I have for her. When did you start loving him more than you love yourself? Baby, if you love to smoke, smoke. You're going to find somebody that will smoke with you. And out of fear of losing him, she started stalking him. And that was a whole nother thing. But that was why I chose the topic for romantic relationships, living in fear, because I feel like we've all been taught that you got to sacrifice your happiness. If you're not compatible, you got to stay in it. You got to go hard. You got to give your 100. No, you don't. Guess what? You can still, I give you permission if you need it. You can still love the person and not be compatible. And you don't have to wait until you are so angry and upset with it that you hate their good. Like, period. So now my outlook on, so now that's my outlook on living with fear. I don't live with fear no more. And like right now, the guy I'm dating, and people are like, you're just picking flaws. I'm like, no, I'm not picking flaws. But what I am doing is listening to my intuition, because when I didn't, that's why I was in 4 marriages, and 3 long-term relationships because I didn't listen to my intuition. So I'm going to listen. Y'all have the floor. My bad.
Oh, hey, Megan got the floor.
Well, and that really goes into, I love universal laws. It's law of attraction. If you're going to always be in the state of fear or the state of that you're losing something, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to lose it. It's like a materialistic, it's a material object to you. And so always using like the law of attraction, law of karma, law of polarity. How are those playing for you? Because what's on the other side of fear? The other side of that same stick, the law of polarity, is freedom. So you're so using law of attraction to pull fear into you when you could be having freedom, when you could be setting yourself free, you could be authentically who you are. But yet, so what is it exactly that you're afraid of yourself? What aren't you allowing yourself to shine that you want to be held back? And I think that's where that fear comes from, is that we know that we have our own full potential, but we aren't stepping into that light. And so we use then the fear of other aspects, other relationships, other past. We let that, when it all comes in together for us, instead of just being like, you know what? Yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, I've made mistakes. Yeah, I have a past. Everyone has a past. God, I mean, and Brittany, you look a little younger than all of us, but we're all in our 40s or above. But we all have that aspect, and just learn to give ourselves mercy and give ourselves grace and be like, okay, yeah, we're going to go forward.
I'd like to speak to that, if I may.
Absolutely, go ahead.
I want to speak to the part about we all know that we have our own full potential. I disagree with that. I think that we don't know that. I think that we live in a mental prison that has been created by other people, beginning with from the time that we were born and come on up into this world. We know that we, in general, unless we've done the work, the inner work, we know that we are the person that somebody else created, or some other bodies created. We don't know who we are. And so many times when we think about full potential, we're not thinking who we really could be. We're just thinking who we are right now. We may think in terms of, well, I can get a degree, or I can get a husband, or I can get a house. But none of those are full potential. The full potential has to go, you got to go inside in order to know who you are as a divine being and how you can move through that. And so because we don't know our full potential, we don't know our full potential because we don't know ourselves. We don't know ourselves because we've been programmed. We've been programmed with our mama and our daddy and our friends and our brothers, all of their beliefs and societies and the schools and the other institutions. We're a hot mess. We don't know who we are. It takes having awareness that we are a hot mess, and there are many ways to do it. One way may be when you start looking at your relationships, like I did, and like others of you have done, and seeing, damn, there's a pattern. Oh, what's the common denominator? It's me. Well, what is going on within me? What is happening within me and within my psyche that I think I need to be in these kinds of relationships, which emotionally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally unavailable, and yet I'm still pouring all of myself into that. The problem is not, I'm not saying that the other people are quote unquote perfect or that they have no problems. I'm saying that for me, I realize the problem is wholly within me, not knowing me, and then doing the work to get to
100%.
know me.
Oh, I completely
And
agree
can
with
I
that.
just also just this is real quick. If anyone comes to you, first of all, and if anyone comes to me, and you can take this advice if you want, because I'm gonna take it for myself every single time. If someone comes to me and say they're fully potential, I don't want them no way, because baby, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to
Yeah.
grow, because even as good as I am right now, and as perfect as I think I am right now, I got other things I want to do, and I want someone who wants other things for themselves too. I want them to love who they are, but have a twinkle in their eye that there's something else calling them further, further, and further. And when we get that, we're gonna celebrate and we're gonna wild out, and then we're like, what we're gonna do next? That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking for. I'm like, I feel like emotionally, sexually, romantically, entrepreneurially, spiritually. I'm at the red light with my engine revved all the time, all the time. And if somebody don't pull up beside me and say,
You're right.
I don't want it. I want someone to look at me and be like, "You sexy as a motherfucker." You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I want. I don't want someone like, "Oh my god, you
Yep.
cute." I want somebody to look at me and be like, "Bitch, I want you." You know what I mean?
Facts.
They're gonna take you right then and there.
Facts.
Love,
All of you, just the way you are. Just the way you are.
baby. You
You're
know
not.
what I'm saying? Yes, absolutely.
But, you know,
so
to go
I
back
just
to the
looked up and it
fear-
was 11111 on the thing.
But, you know, to go back to the fear aspect, you know, that was my pattern that I actually had to recognize. It had actually nothing to ever do with anyone else. The fact of the matter is, you know, I realized I was told I was unlovable as a kid. I said yes to that. I said yes 100% to be. So why was I so afraid? I knew how awesome I was. I knew how amazing I was. I knew the phenomenal person I am, everything like that. So why was I afraid to be loved? And I realized that my own pattern was as I was getting into relationships with people who I couldn't love. I couldn't love them, therefore they couldn't love me. Of course they were all bad relationships, you know? And exactly the potential of that we could change each other, we could be these people, we could do, but the reality was I didn't love myself because I didn't think I was lovable. So I had to look at what would it be if I loved myself?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The biggest fear was stepping into I am lovable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Nice to meet you too, CC. Welcome to the stage. I'm glad to see you here. Dion said hey too in the chat. So
Hey
everybody,
y'all.
if anyone got their phone on Facebook, like their personal phone, people are commenting in the chat. Like y'all, feel free to talk back to them or whatnot. Also, if anyone needs to leave, I can sit here all night and talk about this. Y'all know me. Everybody on, well, almost everybody on here. We've been on like 2 or 3 hours Zooms. Y'all know your girl can talk.
I do
But
not
if
want
anyone
to get off
miss?
in a minute.
Now what did I miss?
Oh, you didn't miss
too.
nothing because there's a replay that you can go back and look at it.
Oh,
You didn't miss a thing. So the way the layout is, we all chose questions before we came on here. So we spin the wheel, we pick a question, we spin the wheel, and they pick a partner for what the conversation is going to be. So the person whose
okay.
question is, they start the conversation with telling why they chose the question and then their thoughts around it. And the person's name that I picked will continue the conversation. And then once they continue the conversation, anyone can add in as they see fit. You know, keep it to like 2, 3, 4 minutes, you know, sometimes 10, don't matter. If it's flowing, it's flowing. But, you know, just for the sake of time. But yeah, Megan, you leaving? All right, no worries. We love you. It's so good to spend time with
I
you.
gotta jump out in a few minutes. I would love to
Yeah,
get my
me too.
conversation going and get that heated and then jump the
Okay,
heck
well,
out.
go ahead.
I've gotta go
We're
too.
gonna fast track. Okay, Brittany. Thank
It
you.
was
All
great
right.
to
So
see ya.
mine was, you know, let's keep it real. Let's talk about relationships. We are all older. Sexual expectations. What do you expect in sex to be in a relationship? You know, I'm a single mom, I'm a business owner, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I'm doing all this type of stuff, but damn it, I got desires. I got wants. I got things, you know, making up for lost time, the sexual relationships, the intimacy, everything that I've never had in my freaking life, you know, like it's like, no, I freaking want this. Like, no, I made that flip. I stepped out of that fear into that freedom and I'm going to claim everything. Well, you know what? I want a damn sexual, you know, passionate love life. But let's have these conversations. What is your expectations in relationships before you jump into bed with the person? You know, do you want to be having sex every day? You know, what is your sex? Is it, you know, oral sex? Is it, you know, penetration sex? What is your ideal of happiness? You know, we need to be having these conversations. I'm being attacked by a dog right now. I'm having this conversation.
That was Coco earlier.
You know, dogs are real good sense of energy. We look. What Megan getting off to go do?
Oh my God.
Megan said she got things to do.
He likes the conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, this camera can't even stay up. This camera ready to go.
Hey, Megan. my 25 on a scale of 1 to 10, twisted like a pretzel.
Right? But let's have these conversations, beforehand. But it goes back to what, so you were talking about earlier, the superficial. These
Yeah.
are things, instead of, always having these dates. Oh, what's your favorite food? No, let's get down to the real things, the real things that make the relationship, the real intimacy, the things that keep it going, and like, if it is like, if you want, like a pretty non-sexual relationship, well, guess what? The reality is you don't have to put a lot into that relationship because, you're not necessarily settling, but, that intimacy, it doesn't need to be built because of the fact that, okay, if you are agreeing, once a month or, because you're vanilla or whatever, but, okay. But if you want an intimate relationship, well, you have to put a lot into that relationship. There's a lot of emotional connection that goes into having a, a high sexual relationship, the intimacy of keeping it going. There has to be a lot. So let's cut out a lot of the wait time. Let's have these conversations up front about the relationship and where it is that we want to go. Because if we aren't willing to both put into that commitment or put into that dedication, well, we know we're wasting each other's time in the beginning.
Yeah, I want to know why you had that crazy grin on your face.
No, I'm just thinking like my past relationships, especially like the last person I was talking to, that's how I am. It's just like, look, what are your, and I was writing my notes down here. What are your sexual habits and what is your sexual appetites? Like,
Yes.
What do you want from this? Like, why do you want to be with me? What do I have that you want? And let's talk about it. Is something we're compatible about? Are we not compatible about? Is something we're gonna work on? You might do something that I have no idea, and I might fall in love with because it's something I never experienced before. So I'm open-minded about it.
Are you open-minded of sex, or what is it that you like? Yeah, let's have these because I mean, God,
what don't you like?
Or be honest of like, what? Okay, maybe I don't know about that. Are you willing to experiment in that? Because, or maybe, let's have these let's take away the shame and the guilt around it. Let's take away all that stigma of it, because the fact of the matter is we are freaking animals. It is part of our human nature. We all want to make love and we all want to be fucked. Let's just be real. There's just an in-between. We need to have those conversations.
There's a difference. And
there's a complete difference.
There's a difference, and there's a balance that really can be had between the two. Between I want to fuck, and I want to make love, and I want to have sex.
A complete difference.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people don't want to have those type of conversations though. It's too, what they call it, it's too forward for them.
It's too emotional, and that's the problem. Yeah. Some people don't want to have that emotional conversation, but want emotional relationships. You want to have that deep connection, but guys, depending on how deep you go in penetration, I mean, okay, how much deeper do you want to go? But you can't have a damn conversation about it. And I did that on purpose, 100%.
I don't know what's going on over here.
But these are these.
Tina, what's up with your? Can y'all hear Tina? Okay, maybe it's me. Oh man!
But these are real conversations, and people want to have these. You want to have these emotional connections. Okay, well, these are emotional. These are the emotional topics. These are the things that create us emotional. When you're not getting enough sex, you get emotional. When you're getting too much sex, you get emotional. All of this, the intimacy, the lack of intimacy. Is it that you like touching? Is it that you like kissing? Let's have these conversations about it. What do you like? And if you don't like, if you don't know necessarily what it is that you like, we'll start touching yourself.
Yeah. Discover yourself. You definitely gotta discover yourself.
I think for me though, y'all, I think it's an emotional standpoint when it comes to sex or whatever, but it's more mental too. So if a guy 100%. Is only just offering sex for a woman, that's not going to really satisfy her. Y'all, you know what I mean?
But understanding that that's how that subconscious mind goes is that we go in, we first make that emotional connection, then we make that mental connection, that gets stored, and then we send it back down to our body. You're exactly right. But
exactly.
To be honest, I went through a phase where I didn't want to have sex with a woman more than once. I ain't gonna lie. I sure did, because it got boring after that. I'm like, for me, I can only speak for me. Like if like I felt like some of the women that I dated past, and this is out, you know, I'm 45. Okay, this is when I was 25, 30 years old. You know, it's been a minute. But like you would get with someone and they like what you do and they want you to do it all the time because it pleases them. But I'm fucking bored.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of the same thing every single time. Just go so I can try something different. Golly, you know, it's mundane, and the type of person I am, I get bored easy. I really get bored easy. I've also dated someone who didn't like to kiss, and I'm sorry, I can't have sex with you if I can't kiss on you. I mean, we gotta do a little something. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like again though, we're talking about the types of sex. Sometimes you just want to fuck. So in those situations, you may not kiss because it's just, you know, it's spontaneous and it's kind of rough, you know, you're touching everything, but at the same time, it's one goal in mind at that point. Let's do this and let's get it done. But to not ever kiss and you're in a relationship, I think for me, that is awkward. I feel like you don't like me. You know what I mean? If you don't want to kiss me, because I feel like kissing sometimes is more intimate than sex. You know, because it's really a slow exchange, it's a passionate exchange, it's a lot going on with that. And I think that's one of the absolute biggest turnoffs for me. If you can't kiss, I do not want to have sex with you.
And see, sometimes people don't like to kiss because that's an emotional portal. It opens it up. It opens it up. They don't want that. They don't want to do that.
That's very true. That's very true.
My
Because
thoughts
I
with
love
that is,
kissing. I love kissing.
With the kissing thing, if you don't want to kiss, then you, in my mind, it's like you don't want to be with the person. Like, just say, I just want to have sex and that's what it is, and call it what it is. But if you're looking for a relationship and you're really looking to build something, you can't be without that.
Yeah, I agree. And I know there's some people out there that don't want to kiss for the sake of the fact they just don't like to kiss. I'm not discrediting that. But as for me in my house, we will kiss.
You know what I learned about myself is my sex drive used to be extremely high. And when I say extremely, I mean extremely. Like maybe sex addict extreme. But it wasn't that I was just poking everybody. I mean, jumping on everybody and just having everybody poke me. It was that whoever that one person, this is what I used to give men a warning. And I was saying, now look, if we're gonna be together, you're gonna be my steak for the rest of my life. I will never eat hamburger again. And what I mean by that is every time I see you, I see that juicy steak that I always love, and I'm gonna want it all the time, repeatedly, over and over again. And then they messed up in 2014 and gave me a hysterectomy. So 365, no period. What's up? Just roll me over. You know, if I'm asleep, just stick it in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I was. You know what I'm saying? I wake up not even just automatic. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. That's a problem. Most women be like, get that out of my face. Nope, I'm gonna just do it. But what I found out, and I found this out probably about 3 years ago, is the sad part. But this is what I found out is that the more intimacy I lack, the higher my sex drive gets. And the men started becoming afraid of me because my sex drive was so high that they felt incompetent. And I'm like, no. And they like, I can't give you enough. I'm like, but you are enough. That's why I want more. You know what I'm saying? And I had to look at what was missing. And 3 years ago, I discovered when my sex drive gets super high like that, it's because I'm lacking intimacy. And to me, I know a lot of people correlate intimacy with sex, but I don't. Intimacy is everything but sex, but intimacy can lead up to it. And, you know, if I'm saying, and I agree with the kissing, I mean, the guy that I'm speaking with now was like, "Oh my God, like your lips are so soft." Like I love kissing, and it's like a lost art. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Who fire alarm going off? I was like, okay, who's you know the ongoing joke is who's the black person with the fire alarm going off? But anyway, I keep hearing it. So
That's mine. That's mine. I'm sorry. Hey, that is mine. I'm gonna deal with it.
no judgment, no judgment. But I was just like, wait a minute, boop. Okay, wait a minute. But yeah, but I found that out about myself that the more intimacy I have, I'm gonna say the more balanced my sex drive is. Because what happens is, uh, my sex drive get too high, I get angry. Like I get angry, and I don't want that. And so I've recognized that part. So if my emotions are all over the place, I'm angry, then I need intimacy. So being a single person, how do you get intimacy? Where do you get intimacy? Who do you get it from? You get it from yourself. You get it from your friends. You get it from your family, right? Because those
Right.
things don't involve sex. But that's just something I've learned. And like he was, had a conversation, and I was explaining to him, it's not that I don't want to talk sex, because baby, you got the right one and the wrong one at the same time, and you just don't know it yet, you know. But I want my intimacy cup to be filled, so that I'm just not always on rabbit mode. And if rabbit mode is all that's going to be offered to me, I don't want it. Get somebody else to do it. So I'm proud of myself for recognizing that, instead of just saying my sex is good and it's gonna keep somebody, because actually my sex was so high it was running me off. So I tell men up front, my sex drive is high, and they be thinking I'm playing until they in it.
Right.
So that's all I'm gonna say
Mm,
though. That yeah, that
mm,
hit for me.
mm. Yeah, that's good. Anybody else
Yeah.
want to? Anybody else want
Yeah,
to comment?
everything she said was true though. When you have a lack of intimacy, your sex drive is like way up there. I know mine is because I'm about to be 44 this year. So um I had to end a connection recently because of that very reason. That person worked all the time, and he's a one hitter quitter, and I'm a double cheeseburger and some fries and the whole nine.
Biggie
So
side of the family.
I gave him some chances and some warnings. I did, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't really happy. So I can't do it. I told him, yeah, I'm not for you. I mean, yeah, you about 50, what, 52? Mine is way up there. His is like mid, like So you gotta
Okay,
have that
so
compatibility.
let's take a vote. What would y'all say your sex drive is? What we gonna do? A scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5? 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10. Y'all want to do
Oh,
it? Y'all want to be honest? Y'all want to be
hey, we
honest?
can do it. We can do it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, CC, you start. What? Oh, y'all start.
I'm gonna say 10, but mine is at 100. But okay, it's 10. It's 10. I'm definitely a man eater. It's 10. It's over. It's way over.
She said she a man eater.
Yeah.
Dr.
It's
Sue.
it's 1100 for me. I just control it. I subdue it. I subdue it. I have to.
What about you, Dion?
I've been called a beast.
Oh,
I can't. They
a
call me
beast.
serious. They call me they be like, okay. Sometimes they want to call on the beast, and I be like, now make sure you ready, cause
Oh,
that's
hell.
what you want. Cause you could have this beautiful sexual session with Tina, or you could have it with the beast, but you don't have no control when the beast come out. It's like in a
Mm-hmm.
cartoon when you see the person running out the door, and then the person grab by their feet and drag them back in. That be me. I had,
All you hear?
funny,
See
funny
the
quick
scratch.
story. Funny quick story. Hopefully the thing don't break, I'm gonna pull over so it don't mess up because I'm gonna have to listen to the rest of y'all. But one of my husbands was I don't want to put his height out there because then everybody know. But we'll just say he was tall because I have a lot of tall ones. But if you know me, he was tall. And one day he was talking smack, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Now this man sleeps pretty hard, okay. And when I say hard, I mean hard." So when he woke up, right, the way he woke up was he was laying in the bed, and I had took, dogs have leashes, right? So I have a dog leash, and I took it and I did a little shibari rope tying and chained him to the bed, and I slapped him in the face and then sat on his face to wake him up. That when I say the beast, and then he tried to open his mouth to talk, so I know what happened. This is the type of foolery that goes on when you ask for the beast.
You gonna make me go get some wine. You gonna make me go get some wine on your store.
And I got a song called "Good Head and Wine Glasses" while you playing. I do.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Oh my.
Oh.
And I think all of us have that beast, but it's just the right person because you don't want to scare nobody out. And I know everybody on this panel got that beast, so I'm gonna go.
You gotta trust them. For me, I gotta trust them though. Like I gotta trust them. Like that hasn't come. That part of me have not come out in a very long time. I will say that it's been a very long time, very very long time. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I've had some good sex, but that one that we all have seen before and kind of scare our own self sometimes. It's been a long time.
You gotta have somebody that's more open as you. That's the thing. You gotta have somebody open as you are.
Yeah, you do. Okay, Dion, you ain't Dr. Sue, you ain't getting out of scale of 1 to 10.
I was just waiting my turn. For me, it's a scalable for me because for me, it's one of those things where you have to be intimate with me to unlock that. So if you're not intimate with me, you're not going to get it. So I've been in sexless relationships because they didn't unlock that. So it depends on the person, but if you unlock it, it's going to be a 10.
Okay. What did you, Dr. Sue?
I haven't been in that space in a long, long time. I'm laughing.
Talking about where you at right now.
Where am I right now? I'm gonna go with the scale of 1 to 10. I'm not going the other scales. 1 to 10. I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8. But keep in mind, I am reawakening feelings that have been dormant for the last 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of the reasons that this relationship scared me because I'm grateful for what I saw, for what I experienced, but it's like, damn, there's the beast. There's the beast.
She said, twist me like a pretzel.
Beautiful journey.
I could have done that every day, all day, right? But it's like, no. It's got to be more than that. Got to be more than that.
Yeah.
I got to stick with what feels, as I said to him, that does not. It's more than sex. And I fell in love with you before I ever. Well, what I said is, I was in love with you before you fucked me. Just so you know. So don't get it twisted, right? But it was the intimacy and everything else that made the sex so great. But I'll say this: he's 62, and boyfriend could.
Yeah, it be them 50-year-old men. They be on it.
He had an automatic.
So it depends. I said, "Oh my God, where'd you learn to do all this stuff?" I said, "My teacher." And what he said was very interesting. When he was 17, still in high school, there was a woman in his neighborhood who was a prostitute. And so she taught him what he knew and taught him how to control himself.
Yeah.
He knew.
really
He
be with a
knew.
woman, and so that he could last as long as he needed to last. So I
He
said
knew.
my compliments to your teacher for sure. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I'm just say I know myself, and I ain't going through transition and none of that. I'm single, and I'm still an 8. You can have sex all day. Now, I mean, every once in a while, on occasion and whatnot, here and there, we can have sex all day. But I just, I like doing other things. I like being, out and about and doing things. I love
Yeah,
cuddling. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
hanging out. But you know what I mean? Like I don't even want my favorite meal every day. You know what I mean? It just makes it not my favorite meal no more. It just makes something I like a lot. You know what I mean? I love to switch it up. Like, and I like having sex different places too. Like I said, I get bored easy though. That's why I'm an 8. I know I'm best at an 8 because I can be at a 10. I've done a 10, but I promise you, after we've been on 10 so long, I don't want it no more. Now I'm dropped down all the way to a 2. I'm a 2 now because I need a break. And now you mad because I gave you 10 and I'm acting 2. I got to keep it at 8. I got to keep it.
Yeah.
I got to keep it at 8. Hey, I got to keep it at 8. That's for me. That's for me. Okay. So I do have a question though. An interesting question. What's the longest y'all ever had sex? Because I'm just curious because I feel like the time I had sex the longest it was too damn long. Get off me. I'm open. Somebody help. What Kevin Hart say? Help me. Who's coming to help me? So what's the longest y'all had sex? I will go ahead and say 13 hours. 13 hours is too
13
long.
hours.
Raw.
How many hours?
She said 13.
Oh, fuck no.
No. The normal time is at least 2 hours. 2 hours.
Maybe I told too much. I'm just gonna go off screen. Yo.
And that's 15 minutes. What is it? 10-minute break? And then you back at it again. That's 2 hours. I need 2 hours.
Yeah, a couple breaks. I ain't gonna say it was like, we probably had 3 breaks. Because that was back when I was a smoker. I felt like running away. I wanted to get the cab. That was back when the cab service is. I knew all I had to do was dial 555 5555, and I would have been on my way. Anytime you call a cab number, just pick a number and keep down until somebody pick up. That was a cab company.
So the longest I've had it without a break is 2.5 hours. But after a while, you begin to feel like a fucking piece of meat. Like, damn. Come on now.
And there's I can't even go there. You're right. You do. You feel like a piece of raw
Tina,
meat.
what about you? How long it been?
It's 72.
I don't even be looking. I just go until we start.
72.
Keep going.
You just go in it. You just go in it till you tap out, huh?
You better make me pass out. Yeah. You better make me pass out. And if your meat done expired, then you better go grab some toys, or you better make it happen, Captain. Otherwise, you're gonna be sleeping. I'm gonna be grinding on your forehead or whatever. I tell them it ain't got to be hard for me to get. I'm bisexual, so I just rub and grind and the same thing. So you gonna wake up and I'm gonna be on you. I mean, it's just whatever. So you better make me pass out. So, but I will say I've been blessed with a few lovers who've actually woken me up, and I be like, what? Huh? I'm normally the waker upper, Yeah,
that's another thing. Don't wake me up unless it's close to the time you know I'm about to get up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I don't care. Wake me up. Just
It's
wake
time
me
to
up.
sleep. We're entrepreneurs. When we
Every
sleep,
time.
don't wake me up.
No, wake me up. I want you to. I like you.
Tina said, wake me up before you go.
Yeah.
Let me ride it one time.
And
I would say for me, it goes back to college. I was talking trash, and I had a rule back then. Like, if you get it up, I'll put it down. And after 4 times, I was just like, you know what? We're not gonna do the fifth. We can do the fifth after I take a nap and we have breakfast. We could try again. So it was 5 hours.
5.
Okay. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
see, I
Started at 10 at night and finished 3 in the morning. I was like, I gotta go to bed.
That's a whole job.
Listen,
right.
That's a whole shift that was done.
listen, I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I
We can get up and eat some breakfast and get me re-energized. Cause yeah.
Oh, we've been on here how long, y'all? We've been on here for
It's an hour and 40
hour
minutes.
40 minutes. All right, we're gonna have to say the other topic for another day, unless someone has a burning topic that they want to get to. Dion, let's just at least share your topic and why you chose your topic. So your topic was relationship or friendship 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you choose that topic?
I chose that topic because I've oftentimes had conversations with people. It's kind of like we were talking before, when you meet someone, what you're looking for and all that stuff. And some people say, well, I think you're cute and I think I want to date you and all that stuff. And I was like, well, we haven't even built the foundation of friendship. And for me, that's where I am. It's like, are you looking to build that foundation? Because with me, I'm looking to build something that's going to last and that's going to be worthwhile. So yes, I could go out and meet people and we can connect and do all types of, as I call it, adulting. But at the same time, it's like, is that something that's going to last and going to be worth my time? So I chose the topic for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who got some thoughts about that?
I agree with him.
Yeah. Friendship first, relationship after, let it build. Yeah.
Yep.
What you gonna say, Dr. Sue?
Friendship first. And it goes back to, you have relationship first. You typically are, when we say relationship, what we talking about is fucking, right? We're not having a relationship.
Pretty much.
We're not communicating. We're having sex and we're saying I love you, and you don't know the person yet, right? So, and then you wonder why it is that it's not lasting. It's not lasting because you have no idea who this person is. And as you begin to communicate with each other and get to know each other, then you realize we're like night and day. And y'all, recently, I'm so naive, I didn't know this. I listened to this guy. I love him. His name is Ken Canyon, Coach Ken Canyon. Coach Canyon taught me that there are, and I'm assuming that this is the case with men and women, that there are 3 types of partners. There's the one, there's, as he said, the one you smash. There is the friend, and then there's the one that's wife or husband material. It's like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. They put you in categories, and which goes back to something that you said earlier, Dion, when you talked about that you were coming back into this arena. It's all about gamesmanship. It's like, what the hell? Why can't we just be truly authentic? Why can't we be transparent? But what the dating coaches, and I've been listening to a lot of male dating coaches lately, and what they're saying is, no, you can't play it that way, because if the man knows or if the woman knows, then they use that against you. It's like, what the hell? Why are we even having this conversation if we want to potentially have a relationship? But then what they're saying is, no, you come in too needy. This thing about all this is a whole conversation. We need to devote some more time to that, because I think that, especially for, I can't speak for men, but especially for women, we give too much too soon. And we think that it's going to endear the person to us. And the reality is they put us in the category of smash, or they put us in the category of potential friend, but not wife material. And if what you want to be is a wife, then you're playing it wrong.
Yeah.
I thought, well, damn, I didn't know that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I agree too. I mean, in hindsight though, because I didn't always think that way. Because, especially when you're younger, you meet somebody and the first thing is smashing most of the time. Hang on. And so then you get into this situation to where especially if the sex is good, right? I mean, especially if the sex is good, that's when you get into all these other topics we've been talking about, right? You get into trying to fix them, because they say so good, or because you like them, or y'all having fun, or you having a good time. But really, you're building a really solid friendship. And a lot of times, if you build that friendship, you may end up, smashing your friend or whatever. But it can stay that if you have truly built a friendship. If you truly have built a friendship, it can happen. And you're like, woo, that was sexual tension that had built up. You let it go, and you going about your business. There ain't nobody, be the wiser. Because you built that relationship with yourself, and you know where the walls are. You know what the structure is like. But when you start off with that sexual interaction, you already mingle energies in places that wasn't meant to be long term. And that goes into my topic. I'll go ahead and bring up what my topic is at what point do you take responsibility when you have surpassed the time of goodbye? A lot of times we stay in these relationships for one reason or another, whether it's good sex, good, you depend on them financially. You depend on them for childcare. Because I know some people that still with people because they're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the kids. Like and literally have said that out of the mouth. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my kids. Like I need this 2-parent income. I need this 2-household daycare. I need the benefits because Junior needs braces and all these things come into factor, and we stay past the point of goodbye. But this is one of the things I wanted to bring up. Did anyone have anything they wanted to say beyond the friendship thing before I move on to another topic though? Just in case. I didn't want to switch lanes that bad. Anybody? Okay. So along those lines of going past the point of goodbye, which was my topic, I want everybody to kind of imagine something right quick. Imagine you were at somebody's house, somebody someone you love, your mama, your cousin, your sister, your best friend. You're at their house. You get up, you're walking around, you're saying your salutations, you gave them a hug, nothing is wrong. You love being in their house. They welcome you with open arms. You can go anytime you want. You even got a key to the house. And you tell them, all right, I'm heading out, I'm going home, and you don't leave. You just stand there. How do you feel? You know them. You love them. You can be there anytime. You can spend the night if you want to. But if you say goodbye, what occurs if you stay? And emotionally, spiritually, internally, we've said goodbye long before we've left these relationships. And that's why from that point they get worse and worse and worse. Because we're living in this energy that's over. Yet we're trying to pretend that it's okay that we stay. We know it's okay that we stay. Obviously, it's okay that we stay because we never would have been there. Because of whatever reason. And it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's all logical. But it don't feel right. So have anyone else done that? Because I've done that several times. You stay past the point of goodbye, and then you just feel stuck. You feel like you can't breathe right. You feel like your shoulders ain't never back. You feel like your brow don't ever move from here. You like some days you just have to fix your face. Like, okay, get it together. Like I remember going to work and been thinking like, okay, you know what I mean? Like shake it off because like, what is going on? And then you're on your way home, and on your way home you're like this.
Yeah, that's emotional torture right there.
And we do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there's a lot of people, and I respect the fact that people who are afraid to leave, and that goes back again to another subject we just talked about, right? Living in fear. And there's a lot of fear associated with that because you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know where you're going to go. You don't know if you ever find anyone again. Oh, but I put 10 years in, and I'm supposed to start from ground zero again. We go through all the things.
Yeah.
And we know good and damn well we were supposed to leave 2 months ago. When we got that little, it's almost like you can hear it. It's like, when the seatbelt light comes on, it's the most subtle and faint sound. But everybody hear it. And what do you hear next? All that seatbelts rattling off, right? But we sit there. Just think about that. The seatbelt light comes on in the plane and we like this. If you ain't at the window, the people sitting beside you are pissed off. Get on out of here. Before long, you have an ass in your face. Because they're like, I'm leaving. But sometimes, why do we sit there? Dr. Sue, you had your hand up.
I was just going to share that sometimes we go in and the seat belt light is on before we even get in there, and we
You get on the plane, it's
we know it's in there. I was thinking about one of our relations. That was a 20-year relationship. I thought that was my forever partner, and it was on. The seatbelt light was on from the beginning. I knew. I said, God, just just tell me if this is right. Tell me if this is the right one. And God said no. And I said, okay, I love you. Come on. And for 20 years, we fought, not physically, but for 20 years, we fought each other. We fought to be together, and it was like that tension, but it never should have been. And I was real clear that it never should have been, because I distinctly remember saying, God, tell me how to deal with this. No, not the one.
Mm-mm.
But that goes back to what we were talking about. When you are needy, when you're looking for someone else to fill you up, to give you what you don't have for yourself. The thing is, nobody can give you that.
Mm-mm.
I don't regret anything that I've ever done, because it's made me who I am, and it's given me insight into so many things. But if I had a daughter, I would say, stay in a divine alignment. And if you're asking God, source, creator, whatever you believe in, if you're asking them for wisdom, if you're asking for how do I move, and you get a response, go with the damn response. We say God answers prayer. When God answers the prayer, we go, oh yeah, well, you didn't give me the answer I wanted. Can I? I'm just gonna go in a different direction. I've
Yeah.
done many times I've done that. And let me tell you, the experience has been, I'm gonna stop. I'll say the experience has been great. And by that, what I mean, great in that I learned what I needed to learn, so I didn't make that stupid ass mistake again. So that I now understand, when you're praying, right? You're praying for God to do whatever you need to have done. Listen, because intuitively, the intuition is the way God often speaks to us. I heard that relationship was not a right relationship for me. I heard it. And because I'm clairaudient, I heard it, and I said, okay, come on in. I heard you. And 20 years of back and forth, and it did not end well. Did not end well at all. Because it wasn't supposed to be, except it was supposed to be, because it provided me with the lesson that I needed to learn. And sometimes that's what relationships are. They're all, every experience is an opportunity for you to learn something. The question is whether you're really going to learn it, or whether you're going to have to keep having the same experience over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
My man that I love today, I said to Seth, oh shit, that's God coming at me in a different way. I've seen this before. Oh, I've seen the person has changed, but the situation is the same. Are you going to go for the okie doke? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So,
and seeing, like you were saying, you were comparing it to the you that you used to be. The you that you used to be would be like, whatever. Let's do this, and that would be
I
completely
love
fine.
you.
Right, it'd have been fine, and it's fine for that if that you knew the situation you were getting into. If that's what you want, because know people that's like that. I know people I really honestly don't think they have any type of problem being the other person, because they don't want to be committed. They want something on the side. They want that freedom to be able to do whatever they want to with whoever they want to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like there's a right or wrong, but it is a right or wrong when it comes to you dismissing what you want for you. And when you do that, that's the quickest way to be in a situation longer than goodbye.
Yeah.
Because like you said, sometimes when you get on the plane, the seatbelt light is already on. Get up in there. Welcome, Joy Natty. What's going on? We just, we over here just shooting the shit on Facebook. no reason other than this is what we like to do. Do you have any topics that came up or anything you want to comment on off the jump? No?
No, not really. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. No, not really. It was a great conversation. I was like laying down, resting, and I got right up. I was like, oh, I need to hear this. But it's good. This is really good. Especially for someone like me because I've been single for some time now. Not in a relationship, dates and things like that, but it's really something when you start to dive into yourself and learn who you are and things like that, and all of the little things that I would, well, not really little things, they were actually big things that I would look past before. It's like it's I can't, it's just it's not acceptable for me anymore. So it I don't want to say it makes me a little complicated, but it also just makes me a little more aware of what I want, what I know I deserve, what I know I can give and what I can't give. It's definitely a balance of knowing. Sometimes when you fall in love, right, and you feel like you can just give your all of you, and it's like, well, now I know that I can't do that. I need my me time. I need to be able to have time for me. I need to be able to go out and sit with nature if I want to. I don't need you to accuse me of like not wanting you because I need to have my space. Those are things that like are like kind of non-negotiable for me now. And so it's very interesting because I love that Dr. Seuss said the being happy part, right? That really that touched me in a way because it's kind of like, well, I do just want to be happy, but I understand that that can't be my answer anymore.
Yeah.
Because now if someone says it to me, it's going to be like, all right, I need to know a little bit more now. Now we got to go a little deeper, right? It won't be acceptable just for you to just tell me that because I know my happiness, but I don't know what yours is when I'm just starting to know you. And do you really know what yours is? Some people, when you start to date them, some people think that you're their happiness, that you're supposed to be responsible for their happiness, and that's like such a, my goodness. And it's hard to get through to somebody that thinks that way because they're stuck with that. It's like, well, she doesn't make me happy. It's kind of like, okay, that I just kind of know now. It's not meant for me to fix anyone. It's not meant for me to try to change somebody to where I am. I just know that it just doesn't align with me. And but so yeah, this was really good. I needed this conversation tonight.
I said before we got on here, I said I feel like everybody, this conversation is going to be very therapeutic because I know everybody individually and some of the things we've had conversations about. And I'm just like, just talking about this out loud in a place where you can talk about this is going to be, it's going to be good. I mean, I said I was going to do this once a month, but God, I might do it twice a month. These conversations are really, really good. Especially, this is the first time I've been able to have been on a platform like this and have a conversation like this from a perspective of being single. Because even through the relationships that I have, like, man, they was honestly looking back now, they were just too close together. Like, I didn't have this consistent, fluid relationship with me. I missed me. I really missed me. You know what I mean? And so I think this has been great. This has been great for me. I can only speak for me.
Yeah.
And the links out there and Sierra's out there. I just want to say, hey, I did see y'all chiming in the comments. Hey, y'all. All right. So, did anything else come up with for anybody else? Because there's a list of 28 questions that I'm just going to read off real quick because it's the top 28 questions that it says online, of course, that you should ask before you enter a relationship. But that's if anyone else didn't have anything that popped up immediately. No? Okay. So, this is a list of questions, and I'm just going to read them off, and I want y'all to tell me which one stands out to you, and then which ones that you wouldn't even think to even ask in a relationship. So the 28 questions is, the first one is, if you had to name your greatest motivation in life, what would it be? How much alone time do you need? Ebony was talking about that. How often are you open with your feelings? What's your sense of humor like? What's your zodiac sign? How often do you have sex? Do you have any siblings? How do you prefer to communicate? I think that's an interesting question, especially the way they said that. I mean, that's going to be the one that says that for me. What's your love language? What's your dream job? What were you like in high school? What object can't you live without? Regardless of your actual age, do you consider yourself an adult? That might be a good question. What piece of advice would you give your younger self? Do you ever act out of spite? Ooh, that's a good one. How frequently do you bathe or shower? That's a great question.
Do we
How
really
do
have
you
to ask that? Like, now I would mind my own business till y'all said that. Because wash your arse.
That's a good one. Some people don't bathe, girl.
I
bring it
better
up?
not find out.
Because
I
when I
better
read it,
not.
I was shit job. Okay.
I better not.
Okay, that is.
Okay.
Oh God, how do you communicate when you're upset? Are you close with your family? What's your personality type? How do you like to spend your money? That's a good one. What does your ideal work-life balance look like? Yo, are you a morning person? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's like a job interview. What's your inner circle of people like? And who is your role model? Oh, and there's another one. I didn't go scroll it down. I don't think that's 28, but I ain't going no further. What's something you could talk about for hours? That's a good question too. So, any of them stand out to y'all, or some of them you just kind of roll your eyes at, thinking, why would you even ask that? Anything?
For me, the love languages. That's one of the things when I start talking to someone and I'm interested. I want to know what their love language is, so I know how to communicate with them on that level. So, and I want them to understand me too. So a lot of times I'll say, look, let's do this test together. Even though I already know what mine's going to be, I've done it like 20 times, but let's do this together as an activity together. And sometimes that might even be my first date, to be honest with you. Let's do something fun. Let's do something to get to know each other. Like I tell people in a heartbeat, on a date, I don't want to go to the movies and I don't want to go to dinner. I want to do something else so I can get to know you and spend time and get your vibe and understanding. So that's me.
I'm probably the oddball on this one. What y'all think about love languages? I know I'm the oddball on this one because that was the one question that I just rolled my internal eyes at. So what y'all think about love languages?
I want to know if you bathe.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know you don't. You ain't even gonna worry about it.
I need you to bathe if you're gonna be sexually active with me. I'm just saying.
And you know what? I can understand, like, okay, every now and again, okay, you come home, you super tired, and you just lay in the bed and you out of there. Okay, cool. But wake up in the morning and wash your ass, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but come home one day and come home and laying down not taking a bath. If you stink because of just that one day, you weren't taking a bath anyway, I feel like.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like, if you skip a day, I am not tripping because you should not stink because you just skipped a day, because otherwise you got it's a pH issue. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we can take care of that. We get a little tea tree, we get a little baking soda, we'll put that thing right back. You know, we'll put that thing right back together. But if you come home and you didn't take a shower after one day, you should not be funky like that. Not to the point that I got to tell you to wash your ass or anything else for that matter. Because I mean, I can't speak for too many other people, but I like women, and it's necessary to take a bath. Okay. Just saying. But no. Any other? What else stood out? Anything stood out for you, Dion, Ebony?
I missed the love language part. My phone, somebody called me and it kicked me out.
So what do you think about love languages?
I'm not sure. I don't know where that really came from. I'm like, should I have been asking this all along? Is that something I just don't know about asking? But so I mean, I will talk about it if it's brought up, but it's not something that I just right away will ask. Like, so what's your love language?
Did you read the book?
No.
Either.
That's probably why I don't know about it. But I'm more of I'm big on energy, number one, but I'm more of a I feel like you'll reveal to me who you are um, in time, because a lot of people put on like they call the interview, right? And I've read somewhere before that you may not fully know someone, truly know someone for at least up to a good 3 years. And I'm thinking that's a long time for somebody to be able to portray something else. But for me, for me, I kind of now I feel like I'm more on. I don't. I feel like you're gonna show me, no matter what you tell me, you're gonna show me who you are, and I can feel exactly what I'm drawn to and what makes me feel good, and what I don't ignore my body anymore. So if this doesn't feel good to me, that's all I need, and you don't have to convince me any other way. But yeah, I'm not too sure about the whole love language thing. um, but definitely, I like the part about the question about, do you need your space? And yeah, I think everybody needs that. I can remember when I was in a very toxic relationship, and I thought to myself, I would never want my husband to have a man cave. Like, why would you need that? Like, what you need to have your own space away from me for, right? It's because I just was so like lost, I'm gonna say. So now I'm just kind of like all for it. Like, yes, I believe that everybody needs that. You need your sanctuary. You need to be able to go when you need to release. Go ahead, do it. And so yeah, but I think that's a big one for me. Some of those questions I'm thinking, no, I wouldn't ask some of those things. But
I know, right? So I'm like, what?
but,
Who did they ask?
yeah, I'm kind of like I don't know. Definitely, one of my big ones. I don't know if I would ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I probably wouldn't word it that way, but I do want to know what type of aspirations you have. Because I feel like it's got to be interesting. Like Carrie, I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign, right? So it's got to be interesting for me as well. It's got to be a lot of freedom for me too, because I like to grow and I like to evolve. And some people are afraid of that. So it's kind of like I have to be able to feel safe enough with you that I can explore certain things, and I can be me. I just want to be who I am. That's very important for me. I like to laugh. I like to go talk to the trees. If that's a problem for you, that it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, yes, I'm gonna walk down the side. Hey, how you doing? Yes, that's who I am. But I'm okay with that now. But yeah, I don't know. That's a list that I'm not really. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like these lists. It's like, where did you guys really get them from? But
Who you asking? Who you talking to?
right, yeah. But that's it.
Any stand out for you, Dr. Sue?
I got stuck on the do you consider yourself an adult? Like, who am I talking to?
Ah,
Why are we even having this conversation? I should not even be talking to you.
Right.
well, I'm confused about the one that says, "How do you?" What was I pulled it? What is how do you prefer to communicate?
Yeah.
Because I think that's interesting. Because I was in a relationship with someone who, when we got in an argument, would not want to speak. And I'm the type of person,
Mm.
if I'm ready to speak and you're not, I still need my space, because it creates my thoughts fill up the room too much for us to be coexisting in close proximity. I still need that space, because I'm still in the mode of wanting to talk, and I don't want to impress that on you, because whether you feel, whether I'm quiet or not, you're still going to feel the pressure of my energy ready to speak. And I don't want to do that. But at the same time, if they're ready to speak, I'm not, I still need to leave. But every time I would leave in this particular situation, they would always want to text. I mean, pages. Like, I'm on my way back because you obviously ready to talk, but then I get back and they don't want to talk again. So when I saw that question, my first instinct was, what the hell? Like, what other way is there besides just talking? And I'm like, there is one. Some people will hide behind their phone because they can't even articulate what they're wanting to say in front of you, especially when they know what they articulating ain't accurate, because energy will tell the lie that you don't say. And that's what I noticed about a relationship that I had in the past. It wasn't because they communicated better through text. It was because they lied better through text. Because they couldn't lie to me. Because I would automatically know. I know when I'm with someone, I don't care if it's a friend, I don't care if it's my mama, I don't care if it's my niece or nephew. I pay attention to cadence. Cadence is one of my favorite words. Space is my second favorite word, but I love the word cadence because the rhythm and the flow, it's not just energy and manifestation. I can tell in someone's voice a lot of times during different inflections and whatnot, if they're lying, if they're scared, if they're timid, if they're embarrassed, if they're whatever. And because I like to make sure people are comfortable. That's my thing. I love it when people are just comfortable. That's why people are most comfortable around me, because I can sense it way before they have to tell me about it, and then my energy will allow them to be it. But when it comes to lying, baby, I already know. And I'll let you lie to me because, hey, if you're sitting here to lie to me, I'm trying to look all around the lie to catch what it is for me. Yeah, I ain't worried about your lie. I'm trying to figure out, okay, where am I lying in my life? How am I lying to myself? Why am I? I already forgot it. I don't even care about your lie no more. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. What other ways do you communicate other than talking? Are y'all texters? Are y'all talk on the phoners, or like it's in relationships? Do y'all have a preference? Dion looking like I don't even know.
I want to talk.
I've got to a point where I've evolved because I have some people who I've met that are beautiful people, but like talking like we're talking right now, for whatever reason, I don't know if they're intimidated by it or just like I can talk the way I want, but with them they may stutter or they may, some other thing that caused them not to be comfortable enough to do it. So sometimes they, I'm okay with them texting me, but it's not gonna be something that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna mix it up. So
even in a relationship?
In a relationship, yeah.
I guess that's another one of them conversations I gotta have before I'm in a relationship.
I mean, the thing for me is that I'm a type of person. I like to talk to you face to face, like you. I'm the same way, but I've adopted and adapted to the point I know that everyone cannot, like, everybody don't learn the same way, so everybody don't communicate the same way. So I've just opened my mind to we can do it sometimes, or I'm going to expand it. Like I'm not going to say we have to talk all the time face to face, but sometimes. I'll let you get away with some texting and things like that. Now, if it's a situation like an argument and stuff, yeah, we're gonna talk face to face. That's not a texting situation.
Yeah. I love that for you.
I definitely prefer a conversation. I do. I know, but it also has taken me to be able to evolve to have vulnerable conversations, because learning like my emotional intelligence of myself took a lot of work, right? But being able to express my emotions without feeling anger or hysterically crying, or just it took a lot for me because I'm very emotional, very very emotional person. But I was in a relationship with a guy and he would always text. It was always a text. It was never a pick up the phone and let's talk about it. It wasn't even a face to face. It was never even a conversation on the phone. It was like always text. And something about that just bothered me so much. And I felt like, and then text, you kind of really can't tell the emotion about how it's delivered. Like, did you say that in a mean way, or did I just read it and I took offense to it, or like, like what was it? I don't know. But so for me, communication is big. And I feel like if I can't communicate with you, that's going to be a problem. So yeah.
I think that a lot of people are just afraid to speak. I think perhaps they don't know how to do it in a way that is not harmful.
Hmm.
Uh, Effective communication is an art. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just say anything out of your mouth if you care about the other person.
Mhm.
One of the things that the man of my life said to me, the man that I love, I'm not accustomed to a woman. Number one, I've never met anybody like you. And number two, I'm not accustomed to a woman just expressing herself the way you do. I think
Mhm.
that intimidates him, but it's like for me, this is my norm. I am a communicator. I talk, but I also listen. And like you, Carrie, I'm listening with my whole body. And what I will tell you is that the body never lies. The energy never lies. The mouth will lie every time. But when you are connected to the energy, when you're attuned to the energy, you can always tell whether a person is telling the truth or if there's something that they're saying that makes them uncomfortable. I think, though, just on a more positive note, that if you care about the person, perhaps conversation about more educative conversation about different ways to communicate other than text, and realizing of course that this younger generation, text speak, that's what you do. The older generation, that's not what you do. But perhaps it is, if you can have that person, if you can get that person to a point of, well, just knowing that you are a safe space, you are a safe container and a safe space, and you can say what you want to say in a way that is respectful and respecting, and that I think a big thing with communication is the fear that if I tell you how I feel, or tell you what I'm thinking, then you're going to use it against me. And one a
Yeah.
cardinal rule with regard to conversation and communication is you never use what somebody says to you when they are revealing a confidence, especially if it's a vulnerability thing. You never use that against them, because what you will do is shut that door so damn fast and so hard they'll never again speak. Never. They'll just say, mm-hmm. So we have to learn how, it's about human behavior and understanding human behavior and understanding how to communicate effectively. But one thing that I like to do is have a conversation where I say each person gets to speak once before the other person gets to speak twice. And so when you're speaking, I cannot interrupt you. So we establish some ground rules on the front end. You get to say everything that you want to say. I am listening actively. If I'm listening actively, that means I am not preparing a defense to what you're saying. If you feel
Yeah.
like you need, if you feel like you need to come back to something that that person is saying, have on your pad, just make a note of it and give them your attention again. Don't, because what happens is if you are in a conversation, and if I'm sharing with you what I'm feeling and you're thinking of your responses, you're having a conversation in your head with yourself about what I'm saying. You're not hearing me, and I need for you to hear me. So when we say you get to just empty yourself, with my partner of 20 years, it ended very badly. um, and I went through a period of absolutely hating. I went through a period of just being totally destroyed by it. But in after about 3 years, we were able to have a conversation. She came to my place, and we sat on the floor in the living room, sat on the floor, and I just said, okay, so if it's okay with you, this is the way I'd like to do it. You get to say anything you want to say, and I will keep my mouth shut, and I'm just going to allow you to empty yourself. And when you're done, then I'm not going to respond to you. I'm not a tit for tat. I'm going to empty myself with regard to my perspective about who I was being, how I was being, why I was being. Once we've done that, now each of us we can have a conversation, because you didn't interrupt me. I got to say my piece. Now my mind is empty. Once I say my piece and you say your piece, now we have a place to start from. But if you are preparing a defense to what I'm saying when I am saying it, you can't hear me. You can't hear me. And what I know about communications, especially if it is about sensitive conversations, and the person, and there's been some kind of conflict, the chemicals, the hormones flood your brain, And until you say what you need to say, you can't hear what I have to say. So let the person say what they need to say. And then they can be in a more rational space.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hard lesson to learn. But after my partner and I had ex-partner and I had that conversation, it was better. It still took me a while. We'll never have a relationship. But when my son passed, I hadn't spoken to her in 3 years, but I sent her a text to let her know that he had passed. She showed up for the funeral. I mean, not the funeral, but the celebration of life. We're still connected. You can't be with a person for that long and not be connected, but we'll never be friends. It's just that if there's anything, if she wanted to have a conversation, I would have that conversation. She wanted help, I would help her. She would do the same for me. But it's like knowing there's nothing wrong with this, but it ain't right for me no more. And communication is very important. Communication is important when you're starting a relationship, throughout the relationship, and when you're ending it.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah, it is.
You said something very important. And like my last relationship, when we had counseling for the last 6 months of that relationship, that was something I learned about the effect of communicating and creating that open space for someone to open up. And I think that with the situations that I've had people who started off with texting, but when they found that it was a safe space, then they were open to change. So for me, that's why I say I'm open to allowing them to have their space, because it's, I mean, you meet people where they are now. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna meet you where you are, and we will see where we're going to go. But with the conversation piece, like I'm old school. I do want to communicate with you face to face. That's my ultimate goal. But I have to meet you where you are. We have to find that middle ground that's comfortable for both of us.
I gotta say this. For me, I'm gonna meet you where you are, but more likely, if you text, I'm gonna leave you right there. Right there where I met you. I love texting too, but not my partner. You know, not my life partner. I need to hear your voice. I'm a voice person. I need to hear your voice. I need to see your face. Not just see your face. It ain't about what you look like. I need to see your eyes. I need to make sure you okay. You know what I mean? Like I can't. I mean, this is my roommate, Monique. I like to see if I ain't seen her in a couple of days, because sometimes we pass, you know, whatever. But I care about her enough that I need to put my eyes on you sometimes, you know, because I can tell a lot about a person. You know, it's just a different exchange when I can use all my senses with
Yeah,
someone. You know, just like
it
me and
is.
Dr. Sue. Me and Dr. Sue, if we don't go for she told me she was gonna divorce me. She told me.
Listen, send her a text and told her that did I send you a text, or did I sent you a text and then I told you that I was contacting my lawyer.
Actual exchange. We had text each other. We had been in contact. That we didn't lose contact, but we hadn't been on a Zoom. We hadn't had a conversation like this. We hadn't had, you know, exchange energy on a deeper level, because texting is so superficial. I need to hear her voice. Even though when she texts me, I could tell how she's saying something, but I don't want to hear her say it like that. You know what I mean? When she say, "Hey y'all," I can't say it like that. I hear it in my head, but I want to hear her say it, you know? So that's even intensified if I'm in a relationship with somebody. Like, we don't get me wrong, we can text all day, because I'm a texter. Like, don't, you know, just regular on a regular day, don't call me if you can text me, because I'm probably not going to answer the phone, but I'm going to text you, like, I saw you called.
I saw that call.
Hang up so I can text you back. You know? But who I'm with, yeah, we can text, like, what you want to eat, where we going, this and that and the other. But if you, like, you just want to say something to me, like you got something to say to me, say it to me. Don't text it, don't send it to me. Say it to me. That's just for me. Because baby, if I meet you on text and that's, you know, no, I need something, something. But I had a question, but I'm thinking we may have to save it for next time, because like we've literally been on here for over 2 hours. But just a round robin real quick, because you mentioned something that sparked something in my head. Do y'all think in a relationship, it's okay for who you're with to be friends with their exes? Oh,
That looked like you want to start something. Like,
just asking. Just asking. Because I have been friends with my exes in my previous relationships. You know, not butt buddies, not seeing, not flirting, none of that. None of that. Total disrespect. I've
I'm
never had someone that I have been with and me be in a relationship and they try anything with me. And you know why? Because they know me. They know I ain't going. They know 100% I ain't going. I ain't going. But I've been in a relationship where they were like, I don't care where you're going. I'm going. And they like leave me because I'm not gonna act like I'm not friends with people because they're insecure about who I'm friends with. It's just it is what it is. What y'all think? Dr. Sula, like she contemplating that thing now. And we don't have to talk about it long. I know y'all we've been on here.
Depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the person. I will say that my the love of my life came by today and wanted to know if he could get a hug. I go, you're out of your fucking
Like you can get more hug if you get right.
we are friends. We're not that kind of friend. No, we made a decision. I made a decision about my life, and I'm not that kind of friend. So, but the woman that I was with for 20 years, we could be friends. But when I say we won't be that kind of friend, it's like there's no feeling there now. It's apathy, right? I mean, I not want anything to happen to her, but we don't really have anything to talk about. We don't have any. There's no
That's
need to walk
crazy to
down
me.
the lane, and there's certainly no future to talk about. I don't waste my time talking about the weather. I'm in deeply into energy and metaphysics, and coaching. That's not a space that she's in. We don't have anything to talk about. So, yeah, the other ones are dead. But except when
Look, knowing you probably want to talk to him more now.
well, I have talked to a couple of them. I will say that I had before long-term relationships, 2 marriages with a man, and 2 long-term relationships with a woman. There is the woman that I was with for 8 years. We are friends. We are friends. I don't talk to her often, but we have deep conversations, and that was one of the things that attracted her to me. I'm a brainiac. She is too. So it depends.
Yeah, it does depend. It really does. I mean, because I have. Let me let y'all go. I haven't talked enough about it. Y'all know how I feel about it. Dion, how you feel about it?
For me, I am friends with every last one of my exes minus the last one. And I chose to not be friends with that particular person because they don't want to be friends with me and they don't want to, build or, fix anything and stuff like that. And they have hostility. So I was like, you know what? I don't want that in my life. I don't need negativity. So I'm done with that. So any relationship that I have been in, I have, gauged the person that I was with and say, are you okay with me being friends with whatever? And that determined how much time I spent with those friends. But once I'm done with you and the relationship is over with, that sexual stuff is done. So all my friends, all the people that I've been with, they know I'm not interested in that anymore. So they're comfortable with it. So that's where I am. But it's just the communication, setting the ground rules, and just sharing how you feel about it. And there are some people who are still connected on a sexual or lustful or some other nature. And if they're honest about it, then yes, you have to have that conversation. Are you comfortable with them being around that person? But if you're open and honest and you're real about it, I think you can work through it.
Yeah. What about you, Ebony?
So,
She said,
no, for me, right, I try to make sure that anytime I'm in a relationship now, I'm not one-sided. So I try to think about, like, if this is something that I would want, would I be okay with my partner doing this as well? And I know now that yes, I would, because if this is some person, I don't really have any exes where we are enemies, and I feel like I feel like every experience I have, an exchange that I have with a person, there was something in there for me that I was supposed to have, some experience, right? And I don't hold any malice in my heart towards whatever, if it ended bad or not. Eventually, I'm kind of like over that, and I'm able to move on. But I'm also able to set a boundary too, because sometimes I've realized that if you open up a door sometimes without the boundary, they think it's something else, but getting to, if I would be okay with my partner being friends with their exes, I would have to
It's a
say
whole
yes.
different shoe.
No, I would have to say yes, because I feel like if I can't trust you, then that, in that aspect, I can't trust you really at all. Something about me would feel like I don't trust you doing this. So do I really trust you anyway? Right. And I don't want to be in the energy of feeling like I can't trust my partner. That's a very uncomfortable feeling for me. Because
Worse.
now, yeah, it's very much a thing that I don't like. And I can just use my own personal life right now. My son is 21, and me and his dad, we're very, very close. Very close with his woman that he's with, her family. We go out and have family events with each other, things like that. That is a part of my family, I feel. Where
Yeah.
I would never want a situation where it's now we can't be friends. So now my son is affected by this decision that we're making as parents. So as long as everything is respectful and things are okay, and we're both in good spaces, and I don't have any problem with it. And as far as the same would go for my partner, as long as I feel like you haven't given me a reason to not trust you, then I'm fine with it. Because I feel like as adults, it's hard to just erase people out of your life that you've known, right?
Right?
I mean, it's like I don't see how somebody could think you could just erase that person. You don't know that person, that like, you don't know who that is. Like, I'm pretty sure I know who that is. Like,
And this
and
ain't Windows paintbrush. We can't just.
right, right. So that's hard for me. So it would be hard for me to sit here and say, no, you can't speak to any of your exes. So I can't be one sided, and I wouldn't want to be, because I would want to see if, okay, if I can't trust you in that, that means I don't truly trust you at all. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much okay with it.
Dang. I got some exes that are a blast. You know what I mean? They are a good time. They're good people. They're just fun.
Hmm.
It's just that the relationship got to a point where there was the crescendo, and then it fizzled out, and then we're both, yeah, this ain't working no more, right? And this being adults about things like this is going not as far as what we may have hoped. And this is where we're going to get off. You go your way, I go mine. But anytime our paths cross, we still remember the good times. We're not sitting here
Right.
reminiscing about
Hmm.
sex. But
No.
because when I was in my marriage, there was an ex of mine that every time we got together, every time we saw her, she had to tell a story about back in the day. And every time she would tell a story that me and her shared a memory of, my ex at the time would get jealous because she felt like she was constantly referring to us being together. And I'm like, babe, we were together for 5 months. You know what I mean? It was just, you have to go through this explaining process or whatever, but it all boils down to, like you said, Ebony, she didn't trust me. And that was, I knew what it was. I'm a flirtatious person. When I'm home, but when I'm out, I'm out. And that was one of the things that me and my ex-wife loved about each other is when we would go out, she'd be on one side of the bar, I'd be on the other side of the bar. We'd bring each other together, buy shots for everybody, then go our separate ways again. I would look over like, you need one? She'd look over and say, yeah, bring me two. You know what I mean? We had this constant connection when we were out, but we went up under each other all the time. And it was great. But she was like, she was becoming more my friend. You know what I mean? We becoming
Hmm.
really, really intertwining close. I mean, we still talk now. Can't nobody say nothing bad about my ex-wife without me bucking up and standing up for her because she's such a wonderful woman. And I would never act as if she's not just because I'm with somebody else. We were together for 7 beautiful years, and unfortunately, we're not together. It's not because anything was wrong, which brought up the topic that I gave to Dr. Sue. Nothing was wrong. But for me, I can't speak for her, but for me, I just knew it wasn't right. You know, it's one of the hardest things I had to do was to tell my best friend that I didn't want to be with her. You know what I mean? That's a difficult thing to do. You know, but at the same time, that was one of the things, though, that we had the issues with me being friends with my exes. But I'm like, if she knows me well enough, she'd know. And I think of being on this side of it and me still saying the things I say about her, she gets it now, which is, I think, why we get along so well, because a lot of the things that I think maybe she held on to before, she's able to let go of now, because she see I'm not trying to get with her. I just genuinely love her. I just genuinely care about who she is. I genuinely like who she is. And if she would allow me, we'll be friends forever. You know, and I'm like that with a lot of my exes, you know, and I feel like, you know, we tend to, like Jonetti said, throw people away sometimes, trying to erase them out of our lives. Even the exes, especially when it comes to children. If I think somebody and they got a baby mama, baby daddy, they ain't friends with them, I don't want to be with you, because ain't nobody this level of drama. When you got a dysfunctional a parenthood that's disjointed, I don't want to be in that. No way. I'm not going, because I'm not going to court with you. I'm not going to pick them up. I'm not going to pick them up. I'm not going to pick the kids up. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I'm just not doing it. I'm not sending no messages. I'm not helping. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I mean? But if we can dap it up and be like, what's going on? What's good? Hey, I'm all with it. Yeah. So anything else come up for anybody else? I know we have, I'm like the church. I don't want to prolong the time. But,
I do. You know what? One thing before we
go ahead.
What do you guys think about rekindling with exes, and if some time has passed, and maybe seeing now that time has passed, would this work? I'm gonna just say, for me, it has never worked out the second time. But I'm just wondering if it's just me.
Dr. Sue looked like she's thinking about it awful hard. She said,
no, because this is the rule that I operate by. And it's what my mama told me. If there's reason to leave, there's reason to stay gone. And I just said, I don't leave. I will never leave a relationship until I am ready. But once I walk away, I don't look back.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Dion, what you think? He said, I mean, you know, it depends.
Well, it's not so much that it depends. It's just I laugh at it because there's someone that's interested in me now, and I'm just like, you know, it did end bad, but it was like one of those situations where they weren't ready, and now they were ready. So it's kind of like, what changed? That's where my mind's like, what changed? And you know, we've had a very deep conversation, and it's great now. But it's just kind of like I don't see myself there. So it's kind of like I'm open to the discussion of what's changed and what's new, and see where we are. But my experience thus far, it has not worked. It has not been one where I say I feel comfortable doing this right now.
See, the thing is, the first time around, I'm going to give you my trust. The second time around, you got to earn it, and you got to pay, baby. You got to pay. You got to pay to show me. And I don't want to be in that energy. I don't want.
No, I'm gonna say
I don't want to do that. I want to be able to trust, just because I'm a trusting person. But you already showed me who you were, and I know that people can change. But it's gonna take you a long time to show me that you changed, and then I'm still gonna be wondering, like, what?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I feel you on that. I feel you.
And even though they've been over here changing and evolving, becoming, you know, that person that would match you when you were together. But I'm not that person no more either. Like, you're matching who I was. You just caught up to speed to that. And baby, I'm not even, you know, that ain't even where I am anymore. But yeah, there's only one ex that I have gotten back with, and that did not obviously can't even get it out.
You violated the rule of it's reason to stay gone. You violated that rule.
I tell you, I'm gonna tell you what it's like. I described this to one of my friends, Wendy Westmoreland, one time. And in many ways, and the way I described to her was a little different situation, but it's almost like you're making a nice soup. You got your pot. You got all your ingredients. You put all the ingredients in the pot and you make the soup. And you eat the soup. And even though the soup is good, you just realize, I don't want this soup no more, though. So you dump the soup out. You enjoyed the soup that you had, but you don't want no more of the soup. And then someone convinces you, before you even get the soup good out of the bowl, right, out the pot, they convince you, maybe the recipe wasn't right. Maybe we should try the soup one more time. And you take that same old nasty, dirty, gutter butt pot and put all the nice ingredients in it, make it all again. But it ain't going to taste the same because it's still going to have the residue of the old soup in it. And you won't no twice cooked soup. No, you. I've learned that the hard way. I don't want no nasty twice cooked soup. It ain't for me. It ain't for
So
me.
You don't like refried beans?
No, actually, I do like refried beans, but refried beans aren't soup.
Oh,
I'll take a little cheese on it. I like cheese on my refried beans. But yeah, I don't think. And I've seen situations where it's worked though. I know, not personally, so I can't really speak because the relationship could be horrible. But I have seen people who have gotten married twice, like to the same person.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
That's something. That's something.
No way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm happy for you.
Right. Especially after being married. You know, it's going to take something for me to get married again. It really is. I'm all about a long-term committed relationship. But I'm going to tell you, my ideal relationship is that I can come to your house anytime I want to and have a key, and you can come to my house anytime you want to and have a key. Unannounced. You ain't got to tell me you coming. You can sneak in the window if you want to. I'll leave them open. Because I have absolutely nothing to hide. I just want to have my place. I want you to have your place. And I want us to come over anytime we want. I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, because I am an open book. I have absolutely nothing to hide. But I do not need to have this traditional marriage commitment ball and chain situation that's been prefaced since the beginning of time, because I will never be yours. But I look for someone to share my life with. I want to share my life with someone. Yeah. Just that one somebody. But I don't ever want them to think you're mine, because they will never be mine either. I don't possess you. If you come to me and you say, Carrie, this has been the most amazing 15 years of my life, but there's something else I need to do, and I'm sorry, but we need to end this, I would thank you for telling me that. Don't string me along. I wish you all the best. I love you so much. I love you so much for being honest with me and telling me that. And please go be the best. Send me a postcard. Well, I might cry. No, I might cry. Go through a month of being pissed off and punching holes in the wall, but I'll be so good with that, because that's just who I am. That's just I've told several people that. I'm like, if I ain't the one, yeah, because I feel like we ain't getting along. Like, I'm like, you don't even like me. Like, what is this? But it's always, you doing this and you doing that. I'm just like, well, then why don't you just leave? And that just makes it 10 times worse. Have anyone ever said that? Has it ever helped your situation? Because it never helped mine. Well, why don't you just leave? It never worked yet. Go figure.
No.
Go figure.
No, just leave. No.
Well, yeah,
I definitely don't need the I don't need the whole court papers situation. I don't need that anymore. I feel like it's just unnecessary for me. I don't feel like it's a necessary thing. I don't need that. It's not going to make me feel like you love me anymore or any less.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, as long as we're on the same page and we're able to pour into each other the way we need to be to, then that's enough for me. I don't
Yeah.
need to be in the courts and dealing with all. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I don't want to say it like that. It's,
Yes,
I've
yeah.
seen some beautiful weddings and things like that. But I know I've been there already, and I don't need it again.
Man, I was
It's
stressed
kind
to
of
the
hard because
max
some
planning
people
my
want
last one.
to be married. They're like, I want to be married again. I'm like, oh boy, uh, I can't promise that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh
Sue,
boy.
do you want to get married again? Would you want to get married again, Sue?
I want a monogamous, committed relationship.
Mm,
Yep.
I like
What
having
about you,
my own space.
Yep, same. What
mm.
about you, Dion? Do you want to get married again?
I've never been married.
Oh, that's right. Do you want to get married?
Um,
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it at this particular point about that. I've always been like Dr. Sue. I want a monogamous, long-term relationship. There was one person that I fell in love with, and I would have married. They passed away. This December will be 10 years. So,
Oh,
that was the only person. Maybe there's another. Maybe there's not. If I don't find them, that's fine. I'm good. But I
Yeah,
would like a monogamous relationship long term.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do the multiple partner things. I mean, like if you're single and you're dating, that's one thing. Like, do you, whatever. But long term, no. You need no. Yeah,
no,
but committed long term relationship, I think we all on the same page on that one.
Mhm.
hmm
Baby, marriage for the birds
definitely.
these days. I mean,
I
then you're gonna
I
spend
can't be.
$17 million on some
Oh
flowers.
my gosh.
They ain't even in the ground. You can't even plant them jokers.
I'm like,
They're
can we
dead.
can we go in the park and stand in the dirt for a little bit?
Hold hands like this and say,
Yeah. There we go. We good. We
I can see
good.
mine would be
ceremony
totally
over.
different. Mine would be
Oh
totally
man.
different. I wouldn't be spending my own money
Oh
on all
my
that
goodness.
foolishness. Ew.
Right,
Mm,
right. All right. Well,
no.
that's a natural wrap up. Anybody even have anything else that come up? I think
No,
I'm good. I think
this
I
was really
cleaned it
This
good.
was
here.
it
This
was.
was really good. I could
I
do
have a
this all
conversation
day.
like
So
this in years.
I know. Well, expect more of them. I'm gonna start sending you the link, and you can just go on and hop
Yeah.
on here if you're free. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna have a roundabout because I didn't realize I can fit up to 10 people on the screen. I thought it was
Nice.
6, but yeah, I guess after the upgrade, my little membership got me a little bit more. So. All right. Well, anyone who's out there in Facebook land, I know there's some people on YouTube as well. Angelique is on YouTube, and somebody else on YouTube. I forget who it was. But thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Oh, the Sierra was on there. We'll be back. I don't know. We may be back next Sunday. I don't know. I was gonna say the first Sunday of September, but we might be back next Sunday. Maybe we'll just have one group for a month and then move to another group, maybe. But I like this. I like it. I like people to be able to come in and pop out too. So 10 is the max. If y'all want to be on the next week, y'all better be here early. Thank you, Ebony. Thank you, Dion. Thank you,
Thank you
Tina. Thank
guys.
you, Brittany. Thank you, Megan. CC. Who else was on here? Was someone? I think that was it. But thank you all for joining us today. This has been amazing. I feel really good. I'm probably going to sleep to the replay of this, to be honest. I'll put this on and I'm going to head to bed. Thank you all. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you.
night. To end this 15 minutes though. All right. Bye. See y'all. Good
Take
night.
care, everybody.
Bye.